Hello, and welcome to the 14th ever Equestria Daily podcast. So today we'll be talking about the fan fiction Fallout Equestria. And now we're going a bit crazy this time. So because Fallout Equestria is like 600,000 words long, we're going to actually have a first ever two-part podcast. So we're going to be talking about a few topics
That's incorrect,
this week.
actually. We've had a two-part one before.
That wasn't a two-part one. It was just two topics in one podcast. It was a weird one.
No, it was recorded in one session, but like we split it in two because it was almost 3 hours long.
Yes. So it's not. It's our first two-part topic. How's that?
It's our first intentional two-parter.
It's our first intentional two-parter. That's the best one. So we're going to be talking about some stuff this week, some stuff next week. We're going to have the same guests. And speaking of guests, the guys you were going to see 2 weeks in a row are Chip and Krafty. So we both had them on before. We'll move over to our Dancast introductions.
I don't think we need introductions at this point. Can we just go to like the podcast introduction for the specific one?
You don't want to do introductions anymore? Well, I guess we've had them both.
No, we've had them both, and also we have a lot to cover.
Okay, that's fine. That's acceptable.
Don't you dare try to derail this with show talk. This isn't about the show.
No, it isn't. So
we're talking about Fallout. This has become our new gaming podcast.
I love
You guys
it.
ready for Fallout 76?
So introduction questions for the podcast. It's an exciting one today. Who is your favourite Fallout Equestria character and why? So to start it off with, I'll throw it to Chip, since you're at the very top with a nice little A before your name.
Gonna change my name now. My favorite character is probably Littlepip, because
Boring.
being the main character, she's nah, she's just got the most development, simply due to being the main character, and I find her entire plotline interesting. And the fact she's not like really, she's not the protagonist of her own story for quite a bit of it, if that makes sense.
This is such a cop-out. Just picking the main character. It's my
I
favorite.
mean, yeah. No, my
It's like
favorite-
watching the show. I like Twilight.
Oh, cool. Real cool now is Twilight is a decent fourth best
Twilight's
main
fine.
six.
And Littlepip is also fine. Littlepip is good.
She's
Littlepip's
definitely in
fine.
the top 10 main characters.
Man, I wonder why. I wonder how many main characters there are.
However many there are, she's definitely in the top 10. I'll even go as far as
I-
to say she's in the top 9, maybe.
I think there's like 6, so I'm hoping she's in the top 10. Because if you're not in the top 10 and there's only 6, there's something wrong.
Like Applejack not being in the top 6 main 6.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I
What
got
about
show
you,
discussion in
Krafty?
there.
I was gonna say Littlepip as well, but I'm gonna be different and just say Calamity.
Oh wow, that's a good choice, but also not expected from you.
He likes Blue Go Fast.
He likes the Bird Boys.
He likes the bad boys.
Mostly because he's just like a direct copy of my OC.
He's a direct copy, self-insert, and this is why I like him.
Nah. I just feel like he's got a very gripping point to the story, especially near the end, and throughout he's just like Littlepip's second-hand guy. That's about it, really.
I thought you were gonna continue with that. Like he's second-hand guy.
He
That's
can be decent at times. Like
Find him in the Lost and Found.
there aren't much
He's
flaws with him. is there?
resourceful, and I like that. I like a crafter.
NG.
Really.
Who is your favorite?
My favorite. I have issues choosing a favorite.
Yeah, we know you have issues choosing a favorite.
My two favorites are Steelhooves and Xenith. I think they're both fantastic characters. I love how Steelhooves just kind of like gets things done. He doesn't really care about what people think of. He doesn't care about not what's right, what's lawful. He will just sort of
He
do
just
things that needs to be done. And Xenith, she's got like a fairly tragic backstory, but like doesn't really let it get to her. And I also like sort of the comedy with her like stealth, how she just kind of like appears every now and again, and Littlepip's just like, where the fuck did Xenith go? And then like all the people like down the hallway are already dead. She's just like, come on then, hurry up.
Everyone's already dead.
She's
Insert
pretty
anime
badass.
fucking meme, which I can't read.
Just
Omeo
teleport
Wormu
behind you.
Shinderu.
There you go. Yeah, that one.
Oh my.
Exactly.
And what about
Insert
you,
high
Spone?
piercing screech.
My favorite
I
Fallout
feel like I should
Equestria
put through
character
a
is...
disclaimer here that Spone like hasn't read it in how
I haven't
many
read it
years?
in a while. I have read it. It was just a while ago.
Yeah, so if he doesn't,
I didn't
remember-
join the fandom in like the past, 2 years, unlike everyone else apparently.
Hey, I joined it ages ago as well.
Fucking well, you took long enough to read the fucking book then. Didn't you have a fucking
Yeah, I
hard
had it
copy
since
of it?
2012, and I just never
You
read
had
it.
a hard copy
He's
since
had first
2012,
edition.
and it took you 6 years to read it.
Yeah,
And
basically.
I even beat him, and I joined last year.
I
Man,
mean,
that's
they
sad.
looked very nice on my shelf.
I believe it. I'm real proud of you.
Thanks,
My
man.
favorite Fallout Equestria character is most definitely Blackjack.
What's your favorite thing about Blackjack, Spone?
She fuck. That's it.
Nice. Yeah, fair enough.
That's all
Alright,
you
so,
have to say.
So, moving on.
Respectable.
Okay, who's your
In
favorite?
both senses of the word, she fuck.
What's the second sense of the word?
Yeah, I think you've got this.
What's the
You
first
can
sense
put
of the
two and two
word?
together. What's the first sense? You'll figure it out. There's two senses. I think you've got this. NG, please.
Yeah, I got a 404 error going on, so just
All right, I'll just let you.
carry on.
I'll
with
let
Shout
that.
you
out to
process.
20.5 and killing people.
Making babies and then beating the shit out of people.
Oh, so
And then-
she fucks shit up.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right, good. Now,
that
who's
is
actually
what you
your
do.
favorite?
Also, I
Fallout
understand that like that's also like Project Horizons. Fucking let's see. Out of the ones I remember, the one that I like the most is still probably Littlepip.
Oh, you
All the other
gave fucking
characters were,
chip
like-
shit for it.
Of
then
course,
you
I'm gonna
choose
give him
yourself.
shit for it. I can make fun of myself as well. I realize it's a cop out, but also like debatably the best character
Why though?
because the main
She's
character
really
just does
strong.
the most shit and she's badass.
Oh, she's like so pathetic at times.
Fucking look who's talking about literally all the other ones. Tragic backstory zebra.
But she isn't
The metal
pathetic.
guy
She's
who
never.
got cut in
Tragic
Xenith is
backstory.
Zenith is
Tragic-
never pathetic.
Tragic backstory. Metal robot guy gets his head cut off. Fucking there you go.
He is steadfast until he gets his head cut off, and then he's still steadfast because his armor locks down and he just stands up.
Nah,
Like to
he's
point
just
out,
dead.
he's still the one that died, and therefore he's a bitch.
He died getting his head ripped off by a Deathclaw
He
hellhound.
died being
That
a little
makes you a
bitch.
bitch. Yeah, he died being a little bitch.
He died waiting around.
He died
Littlepip killed
for
Steelhooves.
being a bitch. He was deemed unworthy.
Alright, well we'll go more in depth into this later then, alright?
Yes, good. It's
Is
nice
this
that we
where
have a
we
nice variety
ins-
of character talk, though. So now we know about all the characters.
This is
Okay,
where
yeah,
we insert
that's
the
quite-
mod joke.
Apart from all the
over.
shit ones,
The
like
mod. Oh yeah, mod is shit. There we go. We threw that one in there.
and Science OC is bad, can we just...
And Science OC is bad. We have to throw that in.
Alright, good stuff.
It's required.
So to start it off, before we get into some like heavy discussion, I thought we'd start off with a light topic, which is just talking about all the similarities between some say similarities, some say just ripped off the Fallout franchise.
It's a little bit of both.
Mainly the latter.
Mainly the latter.
So like, what are some of the main plot points that?
Let's have a quick
Think of.
disclaimer. If you
Yeah.
haven't played Fallout 3 and or you did not enjoy Fallout 3 and didn't really care for it that much, like me, you might not have gotten a lot of references your first time through.
I
lot of them.
see.
An Alicorn is a super mutant.
Whoa! Alright, that's...
Horrible gas.
Whoa, I never got that one.
And the Hellhounds are Deathclaws.
Next thing you're gonna tell me like Metaton had something to do with it, or like Megaton, whatever that place is.
Wait, what is Megaton in?
Fallout 3, it's a place with a
No,
nuke
what
just
is
sitting
it
in the middle of
in? What is it in Fallout?
Appaloosa, probably.
No, Appaloosa is. Oh,
I
it
remember
could
there was a
be-
place with a
yeah,
fucking
it could
huge
be
ass bomb
New
sitting in it.
Appaloosa.
Yeah.
Because then old Appaloosa is Paradise Falls.
Dude, this sounds like Dark Souls now. You got fucking new and old. I'm ready.
Just like Dark Souls.
Just like Dark Souls.
Everyone dies.
It's the Dark Souls.
It's a Dark Souls of fan fictions.
Yeah, literally, like, Philadelphia is just the pit. The cathedral is from Fallout 1. Maripony military base is from Fallout 1.
Who played Fallout 1 though, really?
I played Fallout 1. It's a good game.
Yeah.
What a
played it.
loser. Top down. Get out of here.
It's a good game.
Somebody likes
That one
playing
Doctor Who reference is
JRPGs
in
too,
Fallout
don't you?
2.
It's got some cancer mechanics, but
As someone who's only played 4, I don't get any references in this
I
fanfiction. bar
played
the
some of
creatures.
3. I played like New Vegas for multiple hours, and then I played 4 for multiple hours. Luckily, they didn't play off of 4 or New Vegas really.
I mean,
So
those two
obviously
weren't
the
even out
ones-
when it was
it did
Yeah,
play
yeah,
a
you know,
bit
the
off
ones-
New Vegas.
The ones that I've played the most didn't have like no impact. So
Well, you must have
That was
recognized the
creatures.
Archimedes with the Mega Spell in Tempone Tower.
Yeah.
That's the Archimedes
There's-
system in
yeah.
Helios 1.
yeah, we don't talk about the first Fallout games. Nobody liked them. A few people liked them, and then there's Fallout Tactics, which we just don't talk about.
That was also decent. I haven't played it, but I've heard it's decent.
No,
Tactics was really weird.
If you haven't
basically the
had
Fallout
to,
games have improved in quality. Is all we have to say.
you haven't played a
Yeah.
Fallout game if your companion hasn't had to trap you in a building, and because there's no autosave, you have to reload something from 3 hours before.
Did that happen in the fucking fanfiction?
Yeah.
At one point, Calamity stands in doorway and I can't get through.
But that still happens in Fallout 4. You get dog meat trapping you in a building with a mine in it, and then you die, and then you're in survival mode. You load
You don't know
fucking
how
at the
bad
start
it
of the
is
game.
in Fallout 1. Just
Why
don't have
has-
companions in Fallout 1.
Steelhooves is standing in doorway and I can't progress.
That's why Littlepip removes her memories, right? She reloaded an old save.
Yeah, she reloaded and save. There you go.
That's what really happened.
All right, what is your favorite fucking similarity between this and the games?
Who you throwing that to?
Anyone wants to take it.
Anyone. I really
have-
love. Okay, Jip, you go first. It's your guess.
No, I was going to make a joke.
Oh, you can make a joke. Well, now it's just not going to be funny at all. It's
Yeah,
like everyone's
it's-
paying attention to you and just expecting it to be made. What's this joke, Chip? Tell the joke.
Knock,
Tell
knock.
the joke.
Tell the fucking joke, Chip.
My
All right.
entire life is a joke.
NG, you've got this. Take it away.
I really liked seeing the cathedral from Fallout 1 in the book and like having how descriptive it was with all like the underground tunnels and the vats and everything. I think in Fallout 1 the master slash princess
Yeah.
slash
Goddess.
goddess, that's it, was in the cathedral, whereas now she's just in
Yeah.
Maripony with the vats. But otherwise, it was neat sort of seeing something that was quite epic in the first game, sort of brought to life.
Fair enough. I believe that's good reasoning. I don't actually have a favorite because I don't remember any of the ones that I can actually draw across. But I'll have to do like Megaton. Yeah, if that was a thing, sure. Krafty, go.
I'd have to say the Pip Bucks in general. It's kind of a
Okay.
nice nod.
That's a great one. I'm proud of you.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, Spone.
I actually really do like it. Okay, like one of my favorite things about the show is that it has like all these puns and shit.
Yes.
But then
The puns
yeah.
are fucking awful. Just like, oh, it
No.
came out of stable too, with my pit buck on, and
No, the puns are great, and like I really like the puns, but like the Pip Buck is just great.
with my
As
spark.
soon as I heard that, I thought it was great. I thought it was good shit. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure if you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I actually really like puns.
When you like speak in a monotone voice for like the entirety of your life, I still can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic.
All right, so
Take his word
and
for it.
that's still in the air whether he's being sarcastic or not. But,
Alright.
Hitbucks may or may not be decent. Krafty
I
thinks
think
they're
they're
decent.
I like I followed Sparkle on them. Which just farts.
Oh wait a minute, hang on. I
That's
want to
basically
change. I want to
fucking
change my
aimbot.
answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
I want to change my answer. There's a lot of puns. I also like how they made like the fucking what is it, the Twilight Cola or whatever.
Sparkle Cola
Oh
That
yeah,
Sparkle
that's
Cola.
really
That was good too. I thought that was great.
with a hint of
Second
carrot.
favorite.
I don't know if the Sunset Sarsaparilla was in this or Project Horizons, but that's also good.
Gee, you can
Isn't it
actually
called Sunset
buy like
Sarsaparilla in
Yeah.
Fallout?
In the actual game.
Oh, they didn't change the name.
I don't think they did.
Because it's already a pun.
It's already a pun. It's already a pun.
I liked that it was the Sparkle Cola Rad, and you see them emit radiation, but now with the radishes.
Yeah, it's good. It's good shit. It's good. I liked that. I liked all the dumb shit they did like that.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the story. None of the writing, none of the like epic storyline, none of the characters. It's just the puns. Like as soon as you're 5 chapters in and you've experienced all the puns for the first time, you might as well just put it down to be
If you
honest.
like action and puns, there you go.
Action and
What a-
puns. That's
What about you, Chip? I want to know.
first of all,
I
guess the
like
Tez joke. Guess the Tez joke.
No, he's not telling his joke. Chip, ignore NG.
I usually do. Um, I just like a lot of the locales that are references, like Canterlot just being the Sierra Madre with the pink cloud and all of the
Oh, the Sierra.
Like,
I forgot about that. Actually, I like that as well. That's a really good one.
are you just
and
gonna like
whatever.
everything?
Yes.
Transmitters are called in the original.
Wait, are there
and, like-
transmitters in the actual game?
You have a bomb collar on, so it activates your bomb collar if you stand around for too long.
Yeah.
in them.
Oh, which
That's
game
the
is
Sierra
that?
Madre, which is a DLC
Yeah.
from New Vegas, which is confusing
Money.
now because yeah.
Ah,
It's a fun DLC.
But in Fallout Equestria, it just melts your brain.
It just melts your brain rather than slowly killing you, which is kind of the same thing.
Fair enough. I need to play that DLC.
Also-
I've never done it.
No,
Yeah,
you should.
and
It's
the-
good.
It's what fucking Apple Snack is as well, because he's a ghost person, which is a Canterlot Ghoul in this,
Oh yeah, he's a ghost person.
because you can only
Gotcha.
kill those by dismembering them.
Yeah, you have to fucking remove limb.
Oh,
Fuck,
well,
I forgot
really don't
about
watch
that.
this.
Good DLC. Anyways, I
Um,
think that we've covered a lot of the fucking similarities.
References.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. It's basically just.
Like,
Blatant stealing and then
It's
making
almost like
horses.
it's Fallout, but with ponies.
yeah,
Blatant stealing, but better.
Blatant stealing, but then they add in horses, so like people who like horses will probably like it.
Yeah.
like Temponi just being one of the paths you can take in a fucking actual mission in Fallout 3,
Yeah, there you go.
for example.
Or if you know people who don't like horses and they like Fallout, and this is how you get them to like horses, or they hate horses for life. One of the two.
Horses ruined my game.
Either they'll ruin it, or they'll accept it.
And if you ruin it for them, then you can just laugh, really.
I mean, at this point, if they're listening to this, I think they already have accepted it.
Well, I mean, like the people here. I'm saying if they have friends that are not against, like they're against
We
it.
have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
know
jokes, bud.
it's a stretch. It's a stretch. I don't expect you guys to have friends, but NG, if you manage to find a friend,
I do. I bring them to podcasts.
these aren't your friends. They
I'm not your friend,
They
NG.
do it for your sanity. Come on.
I'm not your friend. That's okay. Fine.
All right.
I don't need to cry on another podcast.
Can we start with everyone's favorite character who nobody said was their favorite character and talk about Velvet?
Nah, fuck Velvet.
Fuck
Fuck
Velvet.
Velvet.
First off,
Calamity did.
be careful with your wording. Secondly, yeah, no, I can't argue with that one. What does she do again? She heals people.
She's a
She's-
medic and is.
She's literally like a medic, but like
Yeah.
uninteresting. She's like the love interest up until like another love interest comes in. Surprise! I'm not a lesbian.
And then she's a love interest for someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy days. So how far, how quickly did people just go, oh yeah, Velvet and Calamity are probably going to get together by this is over, by the time this is over?
Probably like near when it started happening.
Yeah. Like
Once
after
they
she
started
got
writing
stabbed.
it, I think right when they started writing it is when people realized it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that is in like once they started being funny around each other, and you just had that feeling that you knew. Nothing to do with me actually going through the wiki and spoiling it, but
Yeah, nothing to do with that, definitely. At no point was I spoiling myself to anything that happens.
Nah.
Says guy who joined fandom 6 years too late.
You're the problem with this fandom.
You're the problem with this fandom. I think
No,
he's slowly removing Rainbow Dash as his favorite. He'll realize why it's bad soon.
Yeah. You got a
After
couple
a
of
while,
those.
you just realize, like, it takes, you join, you look at Rainbow Dash, like, man, that's good. But then, like, maybe a year in, he'll be sitting around, he'll be like, wait a minute. There's better choices.
Yeah.
Look, the only reason that I choose her now is because of
It's the
different
progression.
reasons. Not
It's the
because she's
progression.
cool or awesome like mainstream people do.
Is it because she's a dumbass and you can relate?
Partly.
Real
Partly.
pull it out.
Look, it's not my fault that they've been writing her as a dumbass lately.
Lately?
Well, I mean, like, they always did, but lately they're making her real dumb. But I'm not here to shit on Rainbow Dash, I already did that before.
We're here to talk about Velvet Remedy.
We're talking about
everyone's
Velvet Remedy, who we can shit on
favorite
instead.
character. So, yeah.
The
so-
Rainbow Dash of the, fanfic.
So she had a lot of key roles in this story. She tranquilized Littlepip and stopped her from saving someone's life. She's the person there so that everyone can get shot realistically, but then still be fine anyway.
The healer.
Yes.
The important role in any RPG.
So she's basically just a walking med kit in this game.
Yeah.
It's called Fallout.
Yeah,
Question.
basically.
I need healing, and she's there.
I require healing.
Exactly, and that's what Velvet does. She heals people, and also she is like the moral compass, but gets kind of annoying with it. I remember that.
Very
Yeah.
annoying. Very,
You
very
shouldn't
annoying.
be doing that. That's bad. And we do it, and it's like, why did you do that? That was bad.
She's also the reason the story started by leaving the vault, because, she's like, I want to help people, and then Littlepip's just...
I want to help people, and Littlepip's
My
like, I
cutie
want some
mark
of that
isn't a
ass.
caged bird. Or something.
And
Yes.
fuck yeah, something like that. She goes out and sings. I remember that. She's a good singer.
Yeah, she also sings. That's another thing.
Quality character, really.
Is there anything to talk about her key roles? She does things. Does anyone else want to
She doesn't do much. Like,
add on to that?
I think the only
if
good
you-
thing about her is she brings Pyrolight into the story, and that's it.
is she the element of kindness, or is like Fluttershy
Yeah.
coming back the element of kindness?
No,
She is.
Okay.
Yeah, the elements move on.
'Cause-
So basically, they wrote her in to be the element of kindness. Then there
Yeah.
you go. They had
Well-
to have someone in there who is like too soft and really annoying, but also like not soft spoken. Boom.
Yeah.
Fluttershy, but talks more.
Yes, better Fluttershy.
Just someone
Okay,
that's a
spoilers.
counterpoint
Also,
to all the
yeah,
fucking
if
shit.
anybody is not aware, this podcast is going to have a lot of spoilers.
Oh yeah, a lot of spoilers.
So if you don't want spoilers,
I pinned a
Listen to it later.
disclaimer. I did pin a disclaimer.
yeah, pin the disclaimer.
There'll be
there is
heckin' spoilers, yo, if you haven't read it. There you go.
If you're one time to this, you've already been spoiled for like literally everything in the story. So
Yeah, so if you've been here for this long, you might as well just stay, to be honest.
Yeah, you already know everything that happens. You may as well stay.
Should we go over the main points again?
You go over everything.
So, speaking of Fluttershy, though, what do we think of Velvet Remedy's similarities with Fluttershy? How similar is she to Fluttershy? What the difference is? Do you like how similar they are? Do you like how well she idolizes Fluttershy? Because she does get
Too
pretty
similar.
crazy over that. Since this is an actual talking
Fluttershy.
point, I'll throw this
Oh,
to...
man.
Oh, Spone, do you want to say something?
Say Fluttershy is not a strong character already, so I mean, oh boy.
Alright, so...
Go for it, Chip.
Yeah.
Chip's not taking it away.
Oh.
Yep, there we go.
Chip, take it away.
No. I kind of like it because she is just essentially a wastelandified version. So she is the same soft-spoken character, but she has to be more active about things. So she can't just be backing away from all the problems, even if she wants to. So it takes away of some of the problems that Fluttershy's character has, if that makes sense at all. It probably doesn't, but
No, I understand. I would agree.
Yeah.
Lots of same character development. Issue is that this fic came out when Fluttershy was still kind of shit. And then
Yeah.
Fluttershy was good for a while, and now she's kind of at the point where it's like, well, what do we do with her? So yeah, if you read the fic now, after seeing Fluttershy's whole arc going on, and then you read this fic, you're gonna be like, wow, hello, Fluttershy. If you read it back in the time, it was probably better because it's like, hey, this is like Fluttershy but better,
And that was cool.
and that was cool. You're like, man, this is like Fluttershy, but now I have someone I can like without being the stereotypical Fluttershy lover.
Another thing I like about her is she's got a good moral compass, let's say. Like, it makes her both a good and a terrible character. Because, like, it's good to have, like, someone like that in, but as you said earlier, it gets really annoying.
Yeah, after
It's
like
just like-
anytime someone dies, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. It's like, well,
Oh,
they
you're
were gonna
still
kill
eating
us.
meat?
It's good to have
We're
Steelhooves
vegetarians.
every now and again.
It's good to have someone who just comes in and kills, and then she's like, "Why'd you do that?" He's like, "Because I can."
Exactly. Okay,
The
so
ammo was too
Krafty.
heavy.
Oh, sorry. All right. So Krafty, what about you? What do you think about this? Or if you got nothing more to add, what do you think about her obsession with Fluttershy?
I feel like it's never really explained, so it's just kind of odd, and it's just there. And when you get like 400 pages into the story, you're just like, why the fuck is this person just constantly looking into this orb like a freak?
Why is she looking into this ball? What is her problem?
So
And like, I know she
yeah.
idolizes her and stuff, but it at the end, like when it gets to the end of the story, when she only starts getting cool, then it's just until that point she just either does annoying things or things that aren't really. I don't know. She's just kind of boring at the start.
She's boring at the start, and then later on, she's still boring. The middle
Yeah.
is where she's like best because it's like, look, she does things, and then at the end, it's kind of like, yeah, she's there.
And she's still reverting back to those old ways still. Even
Looking
after
into the
all this
orb
big
nonstop.
change.
I forgot about that. Just fucking always like looking into the fucking memory orb.
So why do people think that she's obsessed with Fluttershy?
Probably because she was.
No, but like, what made her become obsessed?
Fucking, I
She
don't know.
wanted to be a medic.
She wanted to be a man. She wanted to heal the world.
I always kind of took it as this current world is shit. Yeah.
Don't
So
insert a long way from Equestria reference in here, you shit.
Don't do it.
I wasn't going to, but it's a good time to put it in. It's a good time to put it in.
No, it's not. All right, next topic, guys.
So
Let's talk about a new character.
All right. Well, if no one else has anything they want to say,
I don't think there's much to say about Velvet.
she's
kind of shit overall. Like the moral compass, good one. It's like Fluttershy in the show. Like if you like Fluttershy, maybe you'll like her. If you don't like Fluttershy, well, there you go.
She's what would be the narrator in a narrative game, as it were. That's just like
Yeah.
saying, oh, the character has done this, and this is bad.
Why would you do bad thing, bad, and then everyone else is like, yeah, we get it.
It's
that's the
explaining
character.
things for the characters who are hard of
Things
emotional
are
intelligence.
It's not like you can grow vegetables on the ground.
Well, you actually
Well,
can't, can you? Because everything's
Yeah,
already
you
in.
can't, Crafty. Come on, Crafty.
I
What
mean,
are
that
you
might have
trying
been
to
his
say here?
joke. That might have been his joke. I don't know.
I don't think it's a joke if it's true.
Yeah,
No, I
but
It's
mean,
like
you literally-
saying, it's like NG, you die without oxygen.
Is
it's funny because it's true. That's the
That's,
same.
it's not
So
even funny that
relatable.
it's true. It's just like stating a fact. It's like the U.S. has 50 states, and then people like bust up laughing. It's like, yeah, it's just a fact. It's not something that's a joke.
We're on our 14th podcast.
We're on our 14. Oh, now that's a good joke.
how has it lasted this long?
That's a mistake, if anything.
It's going down burning. Don't worry.
Yeah, we still got
We're
Dan
ready to-
Star with us throughout the ages.
Dan Star's always here.
He'll be here
We'll keep
once.
making them even if no one listens. We just do it for the fun.
Yeah, but once
like
we
talking
have
to
our
yourself.
creative differences and we split off to 2 different podcasts, Dan Star will just still go to both of them.
We'll go to both at the same time. We'll have them both open.
Yeah, he'll create an alt and have like one in each voice call.
All right. I want to talk about a good character.
Debatable, but
So
carry
we're
on.
changing to talk. We're
Debatable.
going to go talk about Project Horizons now. Then. So
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Project Horizons. Blackjack. No, we can't talk about that mostly because that fucking fic is just too fucked up to talk
Yeah.
about here. Yeah, let's talk about Calamity because he's a better character.
Indeed.
wise
NG,
choice.
You want
how
me to
would
throw
you
it-
describe Calamity?
How would I describe Calamity? I'll
Would you
describe.
say that his name is fitting?
I don't know. Like, isn't he like some sharpshooting god? He doesn't feel very clumsy or something. That like.
No, but Calamity's disaster, and his life's a disaster. That's
The only reason he's called Calamity is because he killed his mum on birth.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
not
remember
actually like clumsy.
that.
No,
What a joke.
it's just disaster. He gets all sorts of fuck, and that's why
No,
he's
no,
Calamity.
it's just another Fallout 3 reference. Come on now.
No, we don't pay attention to that.
Wait, which Fallout 3 reference is he?
No, the Fallout 3 character kills your mom on birth.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
not the
Yeah.
name, but like yeah.
Fair enough. He doesn't have a good life, does he? No.
No,
No.
Calamity, disaster. That's his name. Haha.
But so his life actually kind of starts to go up once he meets Littlepip, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His life is still pretty fucked. Like even after meeting Littlepip, you could like argue debatably that it got worse.
But he made friendship.
He made friendship, and if you think about it, it's not so bad.
He
His life's
stayed loyal.
terrible with other people.
Literally written to be element of loyalty. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blue fast, but orange. Or
Brown.
Blue fast,
Brown.
but less garbage, but also kind of garbage.
He's
but not
better
less
than
garbage.
Rainbow Dash. He's a better character than Rainbow Dash. I will.
That's not hard to do though. But
It
alright,
isn't, but he is better than Rainbow Dash.
fair enough.
Yes. Okay.
Also, they needed to have a Pegasus in the fic.
Yeah.
So
Yes. So he operates all the cloud things. He flies. He flies around
he
the Sky Bandit.
flies.
If he couldn't fly around in the Sky Bandit, that'd be a really long story. Just like chapter 107. We're still walking to Canterlot, but fucking hell, this is a long journey.
Yeah, we're still walking. I mean, granted, they could just write it out and be like, "Oh, we walked for like 2 months." It's like, yeah, all right, well,
We walked for 2 months and everyone is already dead.
it took a while, to get places, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, Velvet
How
Remedy
long
died on the way
was
here.
it?
It was quite tragic, but it's fine.
No one remembers
How
it.
long
They won't
was
even
it
write it in.
It's like a
Since Pip
month.
stepped out of the thing. Yeah. Is it
The
a month
entire
or is it
story
a
is
couple
like a
weeks?
month
Yeah.
for the entire thing to happen.
It has to be longer than a month, right?
No, because
No, it
going
was
to
a few
Canterlot
weeks. It was
is
like 2 months, I
really-
think.
All right, fair enough. It was very short amount of time.
Yeah, it wasn't. Sure. I remember. hearing
Project
6
Horizons,
weeks.
on the other hand, whew,
What, 3 days?
10 years
or
later.
10 years.
fucking like yeah, it's a long one. Real long story.
I know it's like
In
2
book
billion words,
senses.
but is it also long in world time?
In world, it's definitely over a few months. Like there's the shit that happens that takes like multiple fucking months, I believe, or multiple weeks at a time.
I love that.
I'm
I
thinking
thought,
about like one arc in particular takes like a fucking at least a couple months.
wow.
Basically, yeah.
So
It's
who here has read Project Horizon? Is it just you and Chip?
probably just me and Chip. Krafty hasn't read shit.
I've only
Krafty
read
has
the
not.
original Fallout Equestria.
Shit.
And
Get
I don't
on it,
think you're going
Krafty.
to manage that before next podcast.
Yeah, you have next podcast. There you go, Krafty. Be ready. 2 million words. Go.
Does Project Horizons have an audiobook?
If only
Maybe.
there
Even
wasn't
if
a
it
game
did.
coming out on Tuesday, which is gonna never make me never read Project Horizons in a week.
Nah.
All right, Calamity. He does things. What things does he do?
He creates things.
All right, Krafty. That's not
Crafty
helping.
boy.
Chip, your turn.
So which talking point are we on?
We're on Calamity.
Is key roles or
Key
something?
roles, yeah. So, what
What
do you
does
think
he do?
about his main story points? Do you think he adds a lot to the story?
Yeah, I think he's a really good character all around. Like him just like immediately shooting Pip when he sees her, for example, is funny.
That's funny.
It is
You
kinda-
shot the main character.
You shot Lamafeo.
It's just like just gets shot, but she got better. It's like they're friends now.
I love it when you shoot the main character. That makes me happy. Man, you must have loved Project Horizons.
There
Uh,
is like I like his ties to the Enclave because he sort of stays
Yeah.
relevant for the entire story. Like,
Yeah, he's
there's always
relevant. It's
something
good.
new with him.
He's not fucking Velvet, who
Yeah.
isn't relevant at all.
It's like, oh, you got shot. There you go. You're fine now. You can go again.
He also
shot
helps
again.
kill people. It's great.
He does help
He
kill people.
Actually, does
He's
things.
useful.
He does a lot of awesome things throughout the book. I feel like the storyline between him and his brothers and the whole thing with the Enclave is like really gripping in the story. It really ties in the Enclave to the end story really well.
It's Enclave, thank you. But also, just really ties in. Did it really draw you in, Krafty? You heard about the Enclave and you're like, oh yeah,
Well, no, it's like
we
throughout the
got
story,
to it.
he's been saying that the Enclave is like a very big threat, and then that minute, once you get to the part
And
where
then it
Little
turns out
Pip
they are.
receives the broadcast,
And you get
of,
to the
like-
point where they are a big threat. You're like, oh, he wasn't
yeah,
wrong.
and you're just like, oh shit, this is where it gets intense, and I was literally feeling that
Yeah.
as I was through it.
It does build it up very well. Like once it actually happens, you're like, oh, shit's gonna go down.
You're
You
like,
got,
oh
like
no.
10 chapters.
And then you
left to
realize
go.
there's like 10 chapters. You're like, oh no.
Shit's gonna happen.
You're
And then
looking
Steelhooves
over.
die.
The big
Oh,
bad
no.
comes. Yeah,
This
a lot
is
of things
fine.
happen.
House is burning around you. This is fine.
And still, Calamity has story in there, even though it is like 5 chapters.
Yeah, he does.
Like-
I mean, they are very long chapters.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are very long chapters. How long is like? One of them was like 5 hours long on the audiobook, wasn't it?
The 5-hour ones when they're in Canterlot, it's Ministry Walk.
That
So
Oh,
it's
sounds.
literally
God.
going through,
That
That
is a
sounds-
long one in general because it goes through all the orbs,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
and it goes through all of the Ministry houses.
It's a solid fucking chapter. The Cancelled
You
chapter is
know-
probably the best.
NG, I want you to take that chapter and imagine that chapter like 200 times Project Horizons.
Yeah.
They're long. They're fucking long chapters.
Also, a lot of fucked up shit happens.
And a lot of fucked up shit that we can't talk about. I'll keep referencing it though.
Yeah.
For a,
The
it's a good
chapters-
comparison.
Oh,
The
do you
chapters
remember that
toward the end
fucked up
there.
shit that happened? Oh yeah, but what about that fucked up that shit that happened that we can't talk
What
about?
about the even more
Oh,
fucked up
yeah.
shit that happened?
That's the real
uh,
fucked up shit.
Alright. Calamity. Is Calamity Rainbow Dash? Answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of.
I mean,
Alright.
that's his entire like storyline, like him being a Dashite and basically taking the same path she took.
Yeah.
I
They're
like
pretty
how
good.
he actually recovered remnants of like her recording and stuff. So he's like been in her footsteps almost.
Literally is Rainbow Dash, but better written and less of a fuck up.
Less rainbow.
Less fucking up, more good, less fast.
Yeah.
He's
Less
pretty
blue,
fast still.
less fast.
Isn't even the one to do the Sonic Rainbow in the story.
Doesn't even do a Sonic Rainboom.
Less of an arsehole though.
It's true.
Yeah.
Just better. It's like Rainbow Dash, but like take away the negative character parts.
Yeah. Well, he isn't as blue or as fast, so maybe he's not as cocky, which makes him less of an arsehole.
Exactly.
It's-
Less Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
I'd
less
say
from-
he is still a bit cocky throughout the story.
He is.
I
Maybe a-
mean,
maybe a little.
his main shtick is being a dead shot, a dead eye, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, like the
He
So
is
I'd
sniper
be
good
boy.
at
really
shooting.
accurate,
He's a sniper
He is
boy.
Boone.
and he is kind of cocky with that.
Oh,
so-
he's the Rainbow Dash Boone.
Exactly.
And he has a really good connection to Little Pip throughout the story. So whenever you get these bits where they'd just be them two talking together, you'd be like, all right, this is where this is good story right here.
He is kind of
This
Little
is where
Pip's
they
best
get
friend,
along.
isn't it?
Yeah, we'll ignore Homage or all those other people.
Like, he probably knows Little Pip the best.
Maybe. Velvet is supposed to know Little Pip pretty well as well.
Yeah, but Velvet's trash.
Velvet's pretty bad and doesn't do that, so yeah, I'd give that.
I was like, in the stable when they actually, spent like however many years together, did they even talk once? Like, it was more of like an
Nope.
idol thing, wasn't it? Like a celebrity.
Yeah, very idle.
It's like, hey, can we talk? Oh, all right, fair enough.
Need to get back to my room and be a
Like
shit
Toaster
character.
Pony repairs.
So, general thoughts on Calamity.
Um,
What are general just consensus? Good,
Strong
bad,
character.
He
good character.
is decent. He's decent. He's the best of the original three, in my opinion.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
But you had
He's
Littlepip
very
as your
strong
favorite,
throughout the
though.
book.
Like, well, Littlepip obviously is like, the best, but like out of the two companions, definitely
Yeah.
going with that
I
one.
mean, that's not really that much saying that much, considering what we just said about Bill.
Yeah, you're
No,
going
I'm
up
saying
against
he's
Velvet.
better
It's-
than he's my favorite of the original
Yeah.
three, so I prefer him to Littlepip and
Nah, Littlepip's still better, but it's written from Littlepip's perspective, so kind of
It's kind of
hard.
expected she's the best.
what's the stuff that goes down in his shack? I remember something.
What goes down in
I
his
think
shack?
that's where Scootaloo died.
Oh, that's Rainbow Dash's shack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
Wait,
also
how
his
did
shack?
Scootaloo-
Yeah,
Let's
that
look-
is his shack.
Let's have a quick flashback. How did Scootaloo die?
She went to follow Rainbow Dash and died by
Yeah.
the cloud.
Rip.
Yeah, like
All right. Well,
And then we just don't know what happens with Rainbow Dash.
well, apparently you
Huh.
find out in Project Horizons, but
apparently you find out in
We
Project
don't know that.
Horizons.
Nah, it doesn't even say in Project Horizons. I've read the Ricky page. It's
What?
still unknown.
Crafty, I feel like you're.
yeah.
I feel like you're trying to. Yeah.
These people have
pull a
read
fast
it.
one here.
So
It's implied, but I don't.
There's nothing implied. I'm pretty sure like 100% Rainbow is in it.
It's implied in the main story. It's straight up said in Project
Yeah,
Horizons.
Project Horizons. It's like, yep, here she is.
and
Boom.
she got shot in the face or whatever it is.
Stuff happens.
I imagine she's.
I
if
have
it,
to read
if
it now,
If
then.
it's a character in Project Horizons, I imagine she just died.
Stuff happened. We'll say that. We'll leave it at that. Stuff happened.
Yeah. Can't be
Alright.
spoiling.
Only Fallout Equestria spoilers here.
Yeah, only Fallout Equestria spoilers.
And well, is it a spoiler when we say just that horrible shit that happened that we can't talk about in Project
one?
Horizons? That's being pretty specific, Or when we talk about that horrible shit that happened that we can't talk about in Project Horizons. That's
I mean, there's quite a few of those.
There's a lot. Basically the whole thing.
yeah.
More or less, every other word is something we're not
Yeah.
allowed to talk about.
So,
So,
Are we going
talk
to talk
about your
about best
favorite
character
character.
now?
Talk about your favorite character.
Steelhooves. So Steelhooves, on top of like saving everyone's asses multiple times, like being the most badass, just like, oh god, we've got an issue. Well, let me just like blow this room up or something, and we're done. Or I like him being an alicorn hunter. It just kind of solidifies the fact that he's a badass. I like him how, I guess, sort of humble he is. Like they don't know he's like that one of the highest people in the Steel Rangers, not the Brotherhood of Steel.
I was gonna say not the Brother of Steel. Steel
Yeah.
Rangers, completely different.
Yeah, completely different things.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like plays it off. I like how I felt there's a lot of dry humor with him as well, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
See, this would have
Maud,
been your
was
time
it?
to shit on Maud. You didn't have to throw
Yeah,
it in
nah, I'm
earlier.
already- Oh,
You can
wait,
do it again.
shitting on Maud.
So I actually laugh at a lot of his moments. I think his storyline with Applejack is like bittersweet, and it adds a lot of personality to him. Like he's the character in the story with the most pre-war things and pre-war ties. So he's got
Shocking.
A
as
lot
the
of-
only
I
character
wonder
in the
why.
Star
you know,
Wars.
yeah.
I wonder why he has the most like pre-war. It's almost like he was alive.
But like, I mean, like Derpy as
But
well.
that would
but
be
Derpy,
impossible.
Derpy's not a main character either.
yeah, Derpy is the main character. So I like that he has those ties from the old memory orbs. And his
Derpy
little
also
hip-
doesn't have a
like-
tongue.
Fair
You're not
enough.
making
All
a
right,
fair
all right.
comparison.
Bored.
You're all right.
He's not very fair.
But yeah, as Littlepip like uncovers the story, I like the bonding that happens between Littlepip and Steelhooves. I
Alright.
like the fact that he splits away from the Steel Rangers to create Applejack's Rangers. I like that he sticks true to his values. And I also like, as I said before, that he just gets shit done. Like, he doesn't faff around with anything. It's just like, oh, that guy needs to die. Yep, okay, he's dead. It's fine. Yeah, there we go. I think that's
Yeah.
about everything.
Are you done? Did you get
Yeah.
everything you wanted to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
All right. What about you, Chip?
Yeah.
Describe Steelhooves and what you think.
I'm much the same as NG. Like, I really like how he's a no bullshit person. So, would like with what he does with Grimsol or whatever the fuck his name was. and just like murdering him for killing all the ghouls. But they were
Murder.
fine.
You
Yeah.
die now.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like I like his character a lot. He gets the shit done. Doesn't give a shit. Also fucking dies, so it's great.
But I wasn't actually expecting like any main cast to die in the story, so that was actually quite a shock, as it were.
Oh yeah, it came out of nowhere. It's just like, yep, surprise, fucking dead.
What other notes are there for him?
What other notes are there for him? What other things can I say about him?
Yeah, I like. I think we discussed this earlier, but like after Littlepip went and just murdered a bunch of dudes in Abu, I like how he thanks her for fucking up. So he's
He
Velvet
speaks what
Remedy, but a
everyone
good character
thinks.
in a way.
He
He's
speaks what
Velvet
everyone.
Kid. He's nowhere near Velvet.
No,
He
in like
gets
the
shit
narrator's
done.
sense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like Velvet's everything's bad, but he just actually speaks how things are.
He's a very real person.
Yeah.
He gets his shit done. I think that's just why everyone likes him. It's just like he blows shit up. He's the guy who comes in and does the killing.
Yeah.
And that's his job. And he's also the one who's like just mentally like probably the most solid. Everyone else goes fucking like crazy and shit. Meanwhile, he's
He
sitting
does
here
kind
like,
of go
yeah.
crazy in Vault 2.
Well, yeah, but
Because like these are his
that's
like grandkids or
understandably-
whatever.
that's understandably going crazy.
Yeah. When even though he's so like, I guess like emotionally steadfast, I really liked all the things that happened. Like when he found out that Applejack was pregnant. And in Vault 2.
He found out Applejack was pregnant,
But-
and then
And
By the time he does die, he kind of does sort of wrap his storyline up. There's nothing really like left in the air.
yeah, and then he dies.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, that's all my stuff sorted. I can finally enjoy life. Die.
I can finally enjoy life. Everything's been taken care of. It's all good. Yeah, I
I
finished
finally
everything.
forgiven myself for killing Zakora. Like
And
everything-
then fucking yeet.
Yep, yeet on.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
And I like that he feels missing in the latest stories sometimes. Like, I think they're actually just like,
You're like, oh man,
I wish we
someone
had
could've
like a
come kill
fucking
shit.
40 mil grenade launcher here.
Man, I really
I'm
wish
making
we
it-
were killing shit.
Yeah.
I do wish we had a Canterlot Ghoul to like be a tank here.
They lost their tank, exactly.
I also lost
What are they
like
supposed to do?
a lot of other things. Like the like Littlepip was reduced to little Macintosh by the end of it, wasn't she? Like she just sort of
Yeah.
like dropped her weapons at some point. So I think that made his absence a lot more apparent because like they just
Yeah.
had issues killing everything.
Yep.
So
But that's good. They took out like he was just carrying them, and it's like you have someone carrying you in a game, and then he's like, "Hi guys, I have to go." Mom says it's dinner time, and then you're not getting carried anymore.
And then the realization suddenly
They,
hits.
then they
like, oh,
realize
shit.
they're like, "Wow, this guy was actually important."
Then they realised they should have grinded more on double XP weekend.
Exactly.
Thank you for throwing that in there.
Also, he killed a zebra. I don't know if we talked about that, but the zebras were like the main bad guys, right?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like the Chinese in
Yeah.
the
Yes.
normal Fallout games. Zebras fill in that hole.
Yeah.
And
I
he-
I
feel
have to
like
say
just
though,
for the sake of mentioning it, so yeah, the zebras are the main bad guys. Zakora was a double agent. Steelhooves didn't know that. Steelhooves found Zakora trying to steal from some archives, but it was like a planned mission. She was going to steal, like they knew what she was stealing for, to give to them. Then Steelhooves was just like, "Oh, I've captured you," and then Zakora's just like, "Oh no, I've been captured. All right, take me to Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash. Oh no," and then Steelhooves just like, "Yeah, no, I'm just going to kill you." And
No,
then
you're just
kills-
fucking dead.
Yeah, it kills Zakora, and then Applejack comes down. She's like, "Hey, are we going on a date?" And then just like sees Zakora's like bloodied corpse on the floor.
Yeah.
And
Surprise.
yeah, and that's
Also,
like,
he's really melodramatic about how he words it originally. Like he words it as like she saw the darkness within me or something.
She saw the darkness inside of me. Oh no.
oh what? Yeah, what
Like,
you
I
said about
mean-
Applejack.
I think that's literally how he describes it.
Oh, he did.
Crawling in his crawl.
crawling in.
I gotta
his
say,
skin.
it's probably my favorite part of the book is just the whole connection between him and Applejack. And even then, when he did die, I knew about that already. But even when he did die, it still caught me off by surprise. And I'm just like, oh shit, man.
Dude,
That
he
was a
dies
good
out of
character.
nowhere. Like that's
Yeah,
the
he
best part
does.
about him is that he dies out of nowhere. It's like what?
Everything.
But
You
still,
like
I
him.
just
You
I
like him
really
and you're
liked
happy.
the emotional grip that he had on the story. Like you get through all this stuff, like pre-war stuff, and then he gets happy at the end. Like he realized Applejack wanted him still, and she only left him to protect. She wanted to go out and save him and stuff. And I think you just like imagine that he realizes this, and you step into his shoes, and you're just like, oh wow, man, this is really sad.
And then he dies. And you're like, wow, all
Yeah,
right.
and then he
Way to
dies.
really jam that one in.
He is the one canon X Oshi ship I'll be okay with.
Oshi.
OC.
Thank you. Hey, speaking of zebras, why don't you talk about the zebra that's actually in the story?
Zakora.
Yeah, it's a car.
Oh fuck! What's
She died.
What's the kid called? The daughter?
Fuck,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't remember. There's a few zebras. There's not very many
there's
zebras in the
not
fucking
very
book.
Like
many.
she was in the chapter I just listened to, and I don't even remember her name.
I'd like to point out that there are more zebras in Project Horizons.
That's cool. I like zebras. I don't like zebra bats though.
No bad zebras. Bad zebras be gone.
Be gone, Syad OC. Oh my god, what if he took the bat wings from the book and put it on his zebra? And that's why he is who he is today.
Oh wait, no. Xenith
No.
actually grew like blood wings at the end, didn't she?
Yeah,
Like with some weird.
That's only
Like they
from
all
a
do.
cape thing, though.
because it's a gadget, a fetish.
It's a oh, hang on now.
No,
This isn't that kind of podcast.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the mad. It's like
Next
a magic.
is 20.5.
Yeah.
Are we going to get into plot expansion anytime soon?
No more plot expansion.
No more bullet smash. We haven't had that for what 9 podcasts. Get that shit out of here.
So yeah, Xenith, what does she do? She doesn't come into the story until like fucking well over halfway, right?
Well over halfway in terms of chapter. I think less than halfway in terms of words.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
The chapters start getting longer towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy long.
the first few are like a couple of thousand, and the last few are like, I think the Canterlot one's like actually like 30,000 or something.
It's
And then
a
you
decent
have
chunk.
Project Horizons with like fucking 35,000 word chapters
Yeah.
just regularly. Just non-stop hitting you with those 20,000 word chapters.
And deaths, don't forget deaths.
And
Yeah.
yeah, people dying and then people
Death
getting
chapter.
introduced and then the fuck.
That's the thing that
then-
scares me the most. Because like when I'm reading, I'm just like, alright, I'm just gonna finish this chapter and I'm gonna go to sleep. And then it's like
Nope.
fucking
Yeah.
like 6
There were
a.m.
many times I did that with fucking Project Horizons, and there were many times I went to bed at like 4 in the morning due to it.
You literally need to have like a bookmark. You can't
Yeah.
like finish chapters because it takes you a solid 30 fucking plus minutes to finish a chapter.
So
30
whilst
minutes
me
to
and
finish a
NG
chapter is pretty good.
That's like 30 plus. Like it's minimum 30 on like the shorter chapters.
No, fair
Whilst
enough.
me and NG were having a race reading the books, and I was ahead of him, me and Butter were like talking, and we were like, he finished just before the Steelhooves death chapter, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna find out soon.
He's gonna find out soon.
And that was the
Oh,
point
boy,
where you
that was
say,
it.
oh, Steelhooves is the best character. I wish he doesn't die ever.
Yeah, I think I
And
did
then-
do that. I just finished the chapter and just like, man, I love Steelhooves. He is my favorite character. He
Yeah,
is
he's
so
my
great.
favorite character.
And then just like
he's
next time I
fucking
pick
dead.
it up, just like, oh right, he dies. So sure, fine,
Good.
whatever.
Fucking
fine.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think I raged at them for like a solid 30 minutes or something.
So, Xenith, yeah, what does she do?
She is
She
zebra.
kicks ass.
Yeah,
She
she's a
does kick
zebra and
ass.
she's stealthy.
She,
She
does.
explains really well why the war actually happened.
Yeah, she's great for backstory.
Yeah.
There you go. Literally, backstory the character.
I like
And she's also
I
keep
like
going, NG.
yeah, I like the zebra folklore she brings into it, like with the Nightmare Moon armor.
Yeah.
And when they go through Zebra Town, like has some like really good moments in there. And I really like the audio logs that they find in Zebra Town with the pony ambassador in Zebra Town.
Yeah.
That was a good like storyline thing. Outside of that, in terms of the actual story, like I said before, I like how stealthy she is and all that. I like how she assists the crew with like her 99 in herb lore. That's
What?
Get out of here with your RuneScape jokes.
Those are RuneScape jokes,
God.
man. I'm sorry.
Nobody's gonna get that. Nobody
Chip got
plays
it.
RuneScape.
Chip got it. 50%
he's
of this
pretending.
podcast understood that joke.
Nah, not even.
But yeah,
So,
I
other
like the
listeners?
like she like permanently. I don't really get how that like permanent altering like potions and shit would work. But
You're doing good, NG. By the way, you're making a lot of coherent sense.
I
I really
know,
like the thing she does. Yeah,
I like the fact she exists as a character.
Yeah.
I like and then they do a thing, and I liked the yeah.
Yeah, why am I co-host again?
I don't know, man. You're telling something. I just don't know.
I like how,
You just
as NG is saying, but more put together well, is that the fact the stuff she brings, like the history, and she makes sense of what's happening, and she makes zebras look good in the book. Like they're not bad people. They were all distracted into a stupid war for a stupid reason.
Everyone, why are you fighting? And then nobody knows, but they're doing it.
she made me like zebras more.
Yeah, no, the zebras aren't that bad, especially her, because she's like, yeah, she's a good zebra.
I also like her for the same reason I like Steelhooves, in the fact that she just like kicks ass and just kills things. But
It is kind of funny how she
definitely.
teases Pip at certain stages of the book.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She had some good comedic effect as well. I remember her character being pretty entertaining. She doesn't. Is she the one that rhymes all the time, or is that a different one?
No, she doesn't rhyme.
No.
Okay, it's. I think there's one in Project Horizons that does do the rhyming shit, and that I
So,
find that more annoying than anything.
It's funny to read. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Like
It's entertaining, maybe.
even in the bit,
A little.
just like when Sakura's in the story, just like, hey, that rhymed, and like you can like read it in her voice as well.
You're like, hey, all right. It was like, yeah, it's fine with Sakura because like it shows up for a little bit. Even with the show, it's fine because like Sakura doesn't show up that often. If Sakura was in every episode, I think it would eventually.
and then she
kind of be
dies.
grating.
Sakura needs to be in the show more often. But that's another topic for another day.
Like, yeah, no, she could be in the show more often, but like definitely not like a main character kind of thing. Where like if I'm hearing rhyming like every other episode, I'd probably want to just die.
We still know
She was in
nothing
the
about
Spike
zebras.
episode.
We know nothing about zebras.
This is why we read fan fiction so that we can know more about zebras.
Yeah. Just,
And their
cannon in
armor
your head.
scare.
What else is there? I
Yes.
liked how
Were you? Oh.
Xenith was affected by the killing joke, like highlighting her insecurities about being a zebra in Equestria.
I forgot.
I
about
actually
the
thought she was
fucking-
gonna die in that stage.
I thought she was gonna die, and considering who I said my two favorite characters were at the start, I was very pissed at the story. I like almost rage quitted it.
What happened with the fucking killing joke shit?
I think she lost all her skin, so she was just
Yeah.
muscle bleeding.
All her stripes, She
No,
lost
yeah.
all her stripes.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, she lost all the skin on her stripes and just started bleeding loads. Then she came back alive, and she saved Fluttershy. That's something she did. That
Yep.
was cool. I like that.
Saved you from a tree.
She saved
She
Fluttershy
teaches
from
kids
tree.
how to make drugs.
Yeah.
Teaches kids, yeah. She's
So relatable.
So basically, she is a good story and education person.
Yes.
Yes.
She's good
I
for
would,
the story.
I would say more, but I'm really shit at expressing myself, apparently. So,
Like, she's good at fighting. And
Toast.
yeah. I like Zebra Horse. There we go.
I think the way that I liked her is just because like she added more to the story. It was good for explaining
Yeah.
like backstory shit without having it be like, oh, we found another log again.
Oh boy.
That's
found
just
this
when
orb.
she adds more than Velvet.
I gotta say
Yeah,
that
she
like,
has more of the story than Velvet.
I really like the logs and the memory orbs in
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah,
Like,
they're good, but if there were more of them,
Yeah,
like explaining
it-
everything,
it
it would
does
have
it-
been a little.
it does it really well in the story.
Yeah,
Especially
it doesn't
in,
overstay its welcome, at least.
Yeah, especially in the Cancelled chapter. Like, as soon as you see one of those logs about to start, it's like, oh, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Exposition. And yeah,
It was crazy shit. It was It was sad
Yeah, I don't have much more
seeing
to
Rosie
say
die,
about.
but yeah, that'll be another time.
We don't
We
talk
could just
about it.
move on
We'll talk about that
to
later. Talk about less important characters and then also an important character.
yeah. We need to
Let's
save the
talk
best for
about
last.
let's talk about Derpy, who is somehow still alive.
Best background character in the book.
Yeah, yeah, she's still a background
Literally
character in the book.
only relevant background character at the time, and that's why she's in the book.
Yeah.
She takes all the good things about Derpy and continues to do so even when she's like dead.
Yeah, so
and
you
shit's
really
still
love
going on.
Derpy, Krafty. So what did you like about Derpy in the show, and what do you think carries through into the book, and what do you like about Derpy in the book that's different from the show?
I'd have to say from the minute you see her and that she's so bright and happy still, and it's just like, it's really nice to see. It really brightens up the dark book and all the things she does throughout the book, and she's still like, still is like, it's still nice to read. She still has her love for muffins, which is also comedic at points as well. I mean, even though you can't eat them.
Hey,
You
what the
can't
fuck
eat-
why does she
like-
even want them anymore? Can she even still
Because
taste?
She can
her
she can
thing.
still eat them. They just don't have to.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And the fact that she
can't.
does so much, even though she's got so little. I mean, she still like tries to write on a chalkboard and goes
Yeah,
to
so
hug
she
people who are
communicates.
like, "Ew, it's a molting
Don't
pile of
hug
flesh."
me with your rotting flesh, please.
Hug me with rotten flesh, please.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, whenever it described like Derpy hugging Littlepip, it was always a bit cringy. It's like, yep, that's not something I
That's
want.
pretty.
to
That's
happen.
pretty gross. Yeah.
What about you, Chip? What did you think of Derpy Hooves?
I really like her. Like, for example, her adopting Silverbow and shit. So like, just the smiling character in the backdrop of a dreary place.
Wait, is she the one that fucking adopted the crazy kid?
Yeah, she adopted
I
Silverbow.
forgot about that.
It's a nice, like when it like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but like they had a nice
Oh.
dynamic with each other. It was very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
then
she just
when
gets
they,
better and better.
yeah, when they baited that she was dying and the little kid was all like sad, it was really hot, fucking
Yeah.
thing. Then you're like, oh no, she can't die now.
But she doesn't, it's fine.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
She cares.
Little
Who
do
would
people
explain
know.
goals in the epilogue if she did? But yeah. What else is there? I like how she saves the day through her radiation farts. Or whatever the fuck.
What?
The
A sonic radiant
Sonic
Yeah.
Rad
fart.
Boom.
Sonic Rad Boom.
Yeah. When by
Much better than a
Sonic
Sonic Rain Boom.
Yes, because
Yeah.
everyone within like 100 miles gets cancer.
Everyone gets cancer. I think that is actually the same as a Sonic Rain Boom.
You
It
get
gave everyone
terminal.
cancer.
Yeah, just give it about another 20 years in the show, and then they'll start developing like stage 3, stage 4
Dude, I
cancer.
don't know about you,
Yeah.
but when I was watching the movie and I saw the Sonic Rain Boom, it gave me cancer.
I
Yeah,
kind
that-
of liked it. I was like, whoa.
Well, of course you'd like it, Krafty. You'd be the kind of guy to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like, look how awesome! Yeah.
Look,
It's
I
we're
like
know
when-
escaping
how
from
awesome it
villains.
was. It's just how better looking, like graphic wise. Like, oh, they took something from the show and they made it look so nice.
Guys, we're escaping from villains. We don't need to be found out. We should stay, low until they can't find. Oh, never mind.
You know, the only reason they wrote that in there is just so they could do the Sonic Rain Boom and then make it in the movie.
And then also make Rainbow Dash
Probably.
look like a retard, which is
Yeah.
yep, there you go.
Yes.
They'd gone too long without her being fucking dumb fuck.
They had
Stupid.
to make her dumb. God damn it.
Rainbow
Dash
Every
can't not be
episode,
dumb.
she's dumb.
Anyways, Derpy's better. Derpy's an improved Rainbow Dash. In the book, she can't talk, so she writes things, and she's
Which would
pretty
make
cool.
Rainbow better.
Yeah, even better. Man, if Rainbow couldn't talk, that'd be great. But
Wait, so if Calamity's an improved Rainbow Dash, what the fuck is Derpy doing being an improved Rainbow Dash?
like it's well, it's not hard to be an improved Rainbow Dash. Have wings
Yeah.
and like don't be Rainbow Dash. Boom.
So
Easy.
Fluttershy's improved Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright,
Not by
yeah.
much,
I
but
don't
yeah.
really know. Well, yeah, fair enough. I agree with that.
So yeah, Derpy does a little bit of things. She's not really a main character, but she's kind of there.
It's nice
I
to
do
see.
like how
She's wholesome.
like she gets shat on a lot. Like she gets kidnapped by the raiders. She gets like tortured by them. She gets kidnapped by slavers. Gets her tongue cut off. Sees a lot of horrors in the world, but is still steadfast no matter
Happy.
what. Still happy, yeah. So like
Dude,
she makes a good element of laughter in the story.
look, let's just say, like, if you've been through all that shit and you're still alive, I'd be pretty happy too.
Like, yeah,
In
you would be
before we
happy,
all
but you could also
realise.
be like depressed. No, you'll be happy that you're alive, but you could also be depressed as fuck. Of like,
Everyone you've ever known is dead.
Yeah,
like
but,
when you go to a
like,
war zone and you almost get blown up by a mortar shell, you don't just leave going, "I'm still great." You know, you get PTSD.
well, no, but like she's had a long time to get over this. It's been like
Yeah.
what 300 years or something. I forget what it was in like the book.
It's been like 2 weeks in the book.
Yeah.
No,
before
since
she
like the
kidnapped.
spells dropped. Like she.
Oh yeah.
I was saying that she got hit and became that shit. Like she's probably used to it by now at this point.
I guess,
She's
but
like, yeah.
there's the difference
I
between being used to
understand.
and being happy. It's impressive.
She's so used to it that she can be happy.
Question is, if all the chickens die, how has she been having muffins for 200 years and still been able to have muffins being made?
She's
I
making
mean, it
without
probably
egg.
doesn't matter if they're like horribly poisoned or radioactive.
True.
She just makes them without egg. Just eggless muffin.
Eggless muffins.
I'm sure
Imagine
it's a
that
thing.
on a McDonald's menu.
They're substitutes.
You can have eggless muffins, but they're okay.
They're not quite as good.
You get a lot of banana
Or-
flavored ones.
Who is the
We're
other
not talking
like
about
somewhat useless character but serves as like the love interest?
Three Dog.
Homage.
Oh,
What?
Fallout 3. Have you not listened to fucking Three Dogs Radio in Fallout 3?
No,
You should. It's great.
Yeah, that's Three Dogs
I
Radio.
have. I didn't really play like Fallout 3. I kind of talked about that, saying like I didn't really play it that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's,
Homage
it's near the
equivalent.
start. Like you get access to the radio station from the start.
Yeah, it's
I
what
played it
Homage
for
is in
like
the
an
mainland.
hour.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, that's long enough.
Homage
That's
is
a lot. You
Three
should have
Dogs.
known the references. Come on. A game that I played for like 1 hour like 5 years ago. Why don't you understand? Look,
Yeah.
you want to talk about New Vegas, man? I'll talk to you about New Vegas.
Yeah, okay.
I can do that. Fallout 4, I can talk to you about Fallout 4.
All right, how hot is Tabitha out of 10?
20.
I don't even know any of this because I just killed the first guy and that was it. I left the game.
Good job.
Okay.
Well, I look forward to you meeting Tabitha. She's a real stunner.
A real stunner. High quality.
Is she basically the equivalent of Rarity's voice actor, but in a wasteland?
Equivalent of Rarity, but in a wasteland.
Yeah, basically.
Alright. Actual love interest this time, NG.
Yeah, so I like her role in the story. I like how I like her role in the fight against the Enclave. I like how
But what is her name?
Three Dog.
Homage.
Three Dog.
DJ Perfrey.
DJ Pawnee. That
DJ Bunny. Oh god, that's an awful name. No one ever called her that.
Oh,
Alright.
no, that's her Elias.
Yeah, that's her Elias. We have to
Alright.
talk about actually who she is. She
Okay.
is pretending to be the radio boy. She's like, look, I'm actually like this fucking male guy who does like the reading off the radio and pretending to be DJ fucking Pawn 3, however you want to fucking describe that one. Vinyl scratch basically, but like male, so it's really confusing for a while.
She's
Yeah.
a descendant of like not like a direct descendant, but like she was like underneath as
Like,
like
yeah,
his assistant.
Passed it down from generation to generation, sort of, isn't it?
Yeah, it was real weird and confusing because I was like, is this the male? And then like it's a female, and it's all over the place.
Well, I mean, just changes her voice, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's a voice modulator, but like you don't know that up until you meet him, and you're like, what?
What incarnation?
All right, what incarnation exactly? Also, love interest for next character we talk about.
Yeah, but that's
The main
minor.
character,
We
you
don't
know.
care about that.
Yeah, love interest, but also like we'll pretend that a chapter doesn't exist.
My God, it's nearly the 2 hour mark and we haven't even touched Littlepip yet. Jesus Christ.
It's not the 2 hour mark.
It's actually
yet, 'cause
an
we
hour and a
started.
half.
Yeah, it's an hour and 10
Yeah.
minutes actually.
Hour and 10 minutes because we
started a
took
bit
long to
late.
start because NG's not good with volume.
And screaming babies and things.
Yeah, screaming people as well.
Exactly.
Homage does some things.
I didn't really care about her in the story until the end.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
care about her till the end. She was mostly there for like love interest and like exposition and talking. Like, look, a radio. They talk about stuff that's happening in the world.
Yeah.
I like how she gives Littlepip a reason to continue and like say like, oh, even if I'm dead, I'm just gonna shove myself down whatever's killing me and kill them still.
It gives me a reason to live, quote
Yeah.
unquote. Like, reason to live is kind of a shitty reason to live. Whatever. Yeah, a
I-
reason
well-
to live because nothing says reason to live like
A love interest, but
chapter
I mean, like,
deleted.
but
mean,
still, it's like
Someone you
build
love.
up towards the end chapter when like they both have. Well, no, they don't even speak. It's just Littlepip looking at her, but yet Homage knows. It's really touching to see or read.
It's like, yeah, I have to do thing. And
Oh,
it's
that
like,
was sad, yeah, when
do thing.
Littlepip merged with the mainframe to get
Literally
into
the
single
ending to
player project.
Fallout, ending to Fallout 3. I know that much.
Is it the ending? to
And
Fallout?
like
Oh, well, when
just
you
says like
yeah.
last words to her and stuff.
Yeah, like the ending to isn't the ending to Fallout 3 like you have to either like sacrifice yourself for like the reactor or something like
Yeah.
restore power for like the water purification?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like a water purification plant, so like they could have water and shit, but like you have to like flip a switch inside of a reactor and it's gonna kill you or something.
Yeah, 'cause it's like
Yeah.
shit tons of radiation.
And they
Either you
immediately
can do
decided
it-
that was a terrible idea and removed it for the next DLC.
Yeah, it's like either you can do it or like your dad can do it or something like that, or like your
Nah,
choices. I don't
your
remember.
dad's dead.
Yeah.
He dies.
Yeah, I thought
Your
your
dad dies like
dad-
halfway through.
Oh no, yeah, you find him alive and then he's dead.
Yeah, he kills himself to flood the reactor with radiation.
No,
doesn't he?
well, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
To like tell the enclave to fuck off.
It's all over the place basically.
Yeah.
Basically what we learn is that you die.
Yeah.
But the Fallout version much nicer. You don't die. You just merge consciousness with
You
the
live
machine.
forever.
And
Yeah.
Well, no, she doesn't merge consciousness with the machine. She's just like in the
In a-
machine.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing. Like they didn't really go into what
Yeah.
happened. Like if she can still wake up from the machine, or if it's like a
Yeah.
permanent induced coma, if it's a temporary induced coma, if she can just
I think she can be pulled out because it's said in the epilogue or the
For
end of the
small
story
amounts of
that
time.
she talks to Homage. Yeah, for a small amount of time.
no,
I
it says
so.
that Homage goes to see her. It doesn't say that she wakes up. She could still be in a coma, but like talking to her like via the speakers or whatever, because like she's controlling the system. But I don't think she wakes up. I think Homage just goes to see like.
I mean, I think there are
Her
some
in a coma.
words in there that describe that she is woken up.
I don't know. What did other people get from this ending? Did they?
I don't know. Let's just say that she's alive and conscious, but doing things,
Yeah.
so I don't fucking know. They wanted to make it
the-
less
the
sad,
ending
I
is
guess.
kind of all over the place.
They want to make it
It's-
less sad.
Yeah, it was kind of
Now you
open,
wanna-
I guess.
You want to see a sad fucking ending? Go fucking read Project Horizons. Or Pink Eyes. Have fun with that one, NG.
Thanks.
Not
I-
gonna spoil anything for you, but you're gonna love it.
I love
the cup full of your
sad
tears
endings. Yeah.
when you're finished.
Like I swear, I almost
Pink-
cried at Fallout Equestria a
Pink
few
Eyes
times.
is definitely a roller coaster. I'll give you that.
I love
I
roller
have to admit,
coasters.
You're gonna love it then.
The part with Steelhooves' funeral got me, and the ending almost got me. Not cry, but like just tears in eye, almost.
I
Just like
think
real sadness.
Pink Eyes definitely will make you sad. Project Horizons will also probably make you sad at some points. Fallout Equestria made me sad a couple times at a few points, but like it wasn't too bad. Although Steelhooves dying made me upset.
It was kind of surreal in Steelhooves' like funeral, where it's just like they're all sad about Steelhooves, then like Cancelot gets blown up by the Enclave.
I can't believe he's actually dead. And it's like, yeah, no, he's dead.
But like whilst you're having the funeral, like everyone, like Twilight Sparkle's mum just like dies, and that's just like Cancelot just fucking crumbles to the ground, and just like, oh yeah, everyone in there's dead now. All right,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
carry on with the story.
Wonderful. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, it's like
It's just
Steelhooves'
the emotional
final...
connection in the story. It's what makes it so sad.
Was that like Steelhooves' final request or something? Like get Twilight's mum out of there or something.
Get
Yeah.
everyone dead.
Kill everyone.
Kill bad. But no, like
That
Activate
was-
more fucking mega spells.
Activate, kill all the zebras is his motto. Oh man.
I think
We
his final
should-
request was to give Twilight's mum's wish of her finding out what actually happened to her, or something like that.
I
That
don't
might-
recall.
I don't recall that. That might have been it. Who knows? I think we should talk about Littlepip.
there's just two things I wanted to talk about Homage before
For
we
Homage?
go. One was her weird alien weapon thing. I remember that being somewhat
Yeah.
significant, but I didn't really get
It's the alien blaster.
But I didn't really get
Yeah.
the point of it.
It's a reference.
I know it's a reference, but it seemed there's more to it than that. Like
I think
it was
that
a
was
reference.
more reference
I think
to
it's just for
base
reference.
canon,
Yeah.
or
But
a base canon.
It was something
description.
about because there was
It
like all the
yearned
zebra
for blood.
folklores with
It-
like the
yeah,
stars.
It yearned for blood and shit.
Yeah, like the stars wanting to like be evil, and stars were an evil force wanting to like ruin the world. And then this weapon
Yeah.
is like a weapon from the stars, and
Yeah, it's a reference to the pretty much like weapon in the game. That's all I got from it anyways. It's like, yeah, I talked
Yeah.
about the stars being souls and how like the stars wanted to help or something. It's like,
I think what they
Sure.
did was take that weapon and mash it with the base cannon meme that was going around right now, and just that's it.
I think that was before base canon.
yeah, I think it was before as well.
Oh no.
Anyways, reference to Alien Blaster, which is a
Yeah.
fucking weapon in like Fallout 3 and also Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's
somewhere
in New
in there.
Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Oh, is it in New Vegas?
Yeah, but- Oh, it's also fucking Homage has Wild Wasteland trait,
Oh, the Wild Wasteland trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
so
good
it's also tied in with that. Because in New Vegas you need to have the Wild Wasteland trait to get the Alien Blaster.
The
How-
fucking wacky wasteland or wild wasteland, whatever it is. Yeah,
That was a terrible trait. Well, it was good, but it was terrible.
I
And
like
it's
it.
a great. It's a great trait, especially in New Vegas. It's a great trait.
there was
Like
also
you just find a fucking death claw, just like
You get a
chilling.
bunch of dumb shit happening. It's great. I love it.
I'm
and-
assuming it's not a good trait.
No, it's a
Yeah,
fine trait.
no,
Like literally,
it's-
it just adds dumb shit into the game.
Yeah.
Like
it's-
there's like you can go into like a random cave, swim underwater. There's just like people sitting at a fucking table playing like cards and shit.
Oh yeah, there is
Skeletons
one
playing cards.
um,
There's a bunch of dumb shit like that.
in Old World's Blue. You can see like 4 dogs playing poker with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also like if you go into the strip or whatever, you have like 3 people run out like wearing dresses with like fucking rolling pins that try to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of it just adds some silly shit into the game, which is great. It's a nice reference for like
Yeah,
the
you need-
effect
and-
to have.
Oh, also adds the Indiana Jones fridge, doesn't it?
Oh,
That's like
yeah.
one of the first ones. That's a
Yeah, it adds in a bunch of funny shit basically. Now, Alien Blaster, it's a reference basically. Homage's gun is like a reference.
and the other thing I wanted to say was Joke Blue's story is sad.
Which
Yes.
one?
Her ex-lover.
Her excellent. What happened?
She just gets fucked up before the story even starts.
Well, I know, but like, what happened?
She gets hit by a raider trap, if I recall right.
It's hit by a what?
Raider trap.
Oh, that's not fun. All right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like she was someone that always also wanted to like fix the world or something.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I guess Homage has a type, and then she died. doing
Homage
it.
has a type. Main characters, but like that was the main character that
The
died.
main characters, people who want to go good.
And that's also why Homage just like, Littlepip, you don't need to do all this. You could just sort of like chill here. You don't need to
Please
die.
don't do this because I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
already gone through this
I've
once. Could you
dated
just
enough.
not? I don't need another main character.
What you don't know is there's like 5 other main characters before this.
Yeah, there's been multiple main characters that come through. Blackjack comes through at one point.
That's the idea. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to say. Unless anyone else
Alright.
has anything.
Yeah, Homage doesn't really have very much. It's just like a bunch of references, which is kind of neat to like
Yeah.
Fallout shit. Let's talk about Littlepip though, because like the most interesting character.
Yeah, biggest for last, not best for last.
Biggest. You know what I liked, and I thought
How
was
small she
great.
is.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, she's small. Whatever. That's you keep your fetishes out of here. Fucking. I really liked that, and it's something that goes on with like almost all fan fiction stuff. Is like a lot of people write unicorns because it's just easier to write unicorns.
Yeah.
They
I do like
magic
how they
items.
pretty much nerfed the shit out of her though, because all she can do is levitation.
Yeah.
Really good at it though.
Yeah, like good at levitation, but literally like everything else, nah.
She basically was an Earth Pony before that builder guy taught her how to levitate.
Lift heavy things. It's like, yeah, she does. That's what she did.
I do really like how they handled magic in Fallout Equestria. Like you have certain special talents, and your magic always revolves around that talent.
Yeah.
Like Velvet
Yeah,
Remedy
it's
was
kinda
good
how-
at
That's
healing.
kind of how the show works as well. So they kept it pretty well. It's like, yeah, your magic, like you can levitate shit, or whatever, but like also your magic is probably just related to what you do.
I mean, in season 1, there wasn't really that much experiment with magic back then. Like you wouldn't see them
Yeah.
self-levitating themselves and stuff.
Well, it's Starlight. That's like literally the only one who can do that. Starlight's thing is that she's good at magic. Just like
Yeah.
Twilight, her thing is she's good at friendship and magic.
I imagine Twilight would be able to levitate herself, but she has wings, so she just doesn't need to.
Not necessary. Also, she can teleport, so like, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've never understood the whole levitating yourself when you can just like levitate and or just
Style
teleport.
points.
Yeah, you can
Nah,
teleport,
they're
stand
not
on
at-
clouds, literally
Yeah.
anything.
They're not actually levitating themselves, they're just teleporting themselves 50,000 times a second.
Yeah, they're just teleporting themselves a lot.
That's the best way to do it.
Unicorn needs recharge.
But yeah, I like
think-
how they made her just only be good at levitating. It's nice because it doesn't feel overpowered. It's not just like,
Yeah.
oh, I use magic to invade their brain and just make their head explode.
I think
feel
if we're on the unicorn topic, it's a good time to bring up like her appearance,
What about it?
which is like she's got like a kind of bland appearance, but still looks adorable in like fan arts and stuff.
Oh yeah, they made her bland. She's a gray brown. Boom. I think they even I think the writer like tried making them a generic fucking like Fallout, character. Like, oh, there you go. Imagine like character creation. There you go.
Default.
Default skin. There you go. And then Blackjack is the edgy like OC skin.
When you
Literally
put
got
100 on
black and
all the dials.
when you slide all the sliders to 100, that's what you get.
Alright.
Yeah, no, she's just meant to be basic and like average.
So, one of the aspects I liked about her personality, which I did talk about before, is her addiction. Like how she always gets addicted to try and do something more. Like she wants to be everywhere and do everything to try and help everyone. Like she gets addicted trying to convince Red Eye to give him the nuke to kill the goddess. She gets addicted to convince the train ponies to save the slaves in Old Appaloosa. When else does she get addicted? I think does she take them in Cancelot?
She does
Oh.
it in the spot of memories she can't remember initially. Like,
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
the memory sheet, the remove.
Oh yeah, because like she wakes up with like people angry, isn't it? Like, why the
Yeah.
fuck did you take drugs, you idiot? Like, we don't have the caps to pay for your treatment.
Stop taking drugs, please.
Yeah, stop
No.
drugs, please. But I like how she tries to do everything and more. It says a lot about her character.
She tries to do a lot, just like a person playing through Fallout, who wants to do everything and help everyone.
Or just kill everything and kill everyone.
Or, well, I mean, she also kills a lot of things, so.
That's what Arbu's for. Come on now.
What I like about her addiction is that she goes through the story like wanting to do everything, and it's only until like Arbu that she fucks up and she's not perfect no more, and she realizes that, and her addiction kind of fades on wanting to help everyone.
She should just fucking reverted her save.
Just reload.
Oh man, I probably shouldn't have done that. Revert save, done.
Like, that's what actually happened for Arbu. She was like, I'll just slaughter this down and then reload. And then forgot she was playing on, like, a no
Hardcore
reload.
mode.
Yeah.
She forgot that she was fucking playing on the fucking whatever difficulty. She's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, her addiction is. I think I in the Fallout games, I never really took the drugs and shit because like, I never used them. I didn't need them for. I don't understand why they're in the game. Like some people, I guess, use them, but I don't know why.
They're really good. And in New
Well, they're
Vegas,
really quote unquote really good because like you can get through the entire game without using them.
Yeah, there are
Yeah, but
some
you can do
points
dumb shit.
where, I guess the requirements. So, like, if you wanted the charisma for a speech.
Well, just fucking
Yeah.
turn your charisma up, man. If you're not playing with 10 charisma, what are you doing?
Playing with like 2.
Yeah, that's wrong. You're just playing the game wrong at that point. Unless you're going for a low IQ run, then you can like put your intelligence all the way down and then like turn your charisma all
I
the way
always
down.
have intelligence and strength, so I can use loads of guns and be really good at science and like.
Nah, charisma's the best one because you can just run in and call everybody an idiot and they won't even care.
Oh, okay, but speaking of Abu though, she killed a bunch of like cannibals that were like capturing like traders and then just like killing them and just ate them and shit.
Yes.
And then she found out and got anger and killed everyone, and that haunted her.
which is also a reference to Fallout.
Which is also a reference.
Wait, which part is it reference to?
Cannibals.
Ardell, I think. There's a cannibal town in Fallout 3.
Yeah, it's a reference to a town of cannibals.
But I don't know.
You don't know. What don't you know?
Was it really wrong? Like, I don't really get why it like
Oh, of
haunted
course
her.
it's not wrong.
It's cannibalism, really.
It wasn't wrong for the reasons, but the way she did it was wrong.
Just going into blind rage and killing everyone.
The children
and I
and everything.
think she
yeah,
also
yeah.
She
killed
didn't kill
an
the
innocent
kids,
child
though.
in a fire.
She killed everyone, from what I remember.
She didn't kill any kids, and
Oh, okay.
fucking Steelhooves killed one kid that she
Uh-oh.
thought she killed.
Well,
Oh,
he
Whatever
said-
knows, though.
Or he said that he did to make her feel
Yeah.
better.
was the kid
That's
about
not
to
fair.
kill Littlepip and then?
No, she was like a random guard.
Oh, I remember. She wasn't a kid, but she was like a teenager kind of age.
Yeah.
I
Like
remember.
how old CMC are currently in show.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think she overreacted to that.
Anyways, it's not wrong. Yeah, she killed a bunch of cannibals, and like it's supposed to be like a moral dilemma, but like most people who are reading the story are like, yeah, it's fine.
We've seen worse.
Yeah.
I read Project Horizons. It's fine.
But that's also kind of the reasons I kind of think less of her as a character. It's like,
Well, I
oh
mean,
no,
if
what have
you-
I
if you
done?
came
It's like,
across-
yeah, you're fine. What
You
else?
get him across a cannibal town in Fallout 3, you'd just kill them all.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you came across a town of cannibals, you'd kill them all. So it's like, yep, there you go.
Especially if you like see their secret and then they're gonna kill you or something.
I
I mean,
think,
either they were going to die or they were going to kill them all. So
you
they
know-
chose to kill them all.
here's what makes fucking Littlepip good. Literally relatable, like just custom made character. That's what makes her great. Everyone who is like reading the story could be like, hey, those are the choices I would make. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She makes realistic choices. Like if you were playing a game, like if you imagine the story is like a game and you're making choices, like you're like, yeah, I'd
A
probably
game
do
like
that.
Fallout.
Yeah. They did a very good job at mimicking the atmosphere of like a Fallout game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can
I also
agree with
really
that.
love like they put like traits and stuff at the end of like the chapters as well.
Yeah, I really like
I
those.
really liked that. Yeah,
Oh, like when they
Except-
leveled up and things.
leveled up or like you
Except
do
the
something to get certain traits.
this is no. it's a lot worse now than it was when it was written. But to the amount that they reference fucking 20% cooler
Oh,
is
re.
excessive. Like, I think like literally half the chapters finish with a fucking 20% cooler reference.
They do.
They have
Oh,
to
no,
do
not
it.
20%
They,
cooler, but
you have to remember the time period.
Yeah, like,
It's like the only meme
It
we
was-
had, and we latched onto
yeah,
it.
basically.
20%
cancer
cooler
now.
in 10 seconds flat.
It's cancer now, but like if Krafty reads it, he probably loves it.
nah, I know the 20% cooler thing is pure cancer.
Oh,
No,
good.
no, no,
He's
no.
he's learning to deviate from Rainbow
Doesn't
Dash.
make me think less of Rainbow Dash, though.
He's
Not
learning
everyone needs to
deviate.
get 20% cooler. RD smart.
By the end of this season, Rainbow Dash is going to just be like not even on his top 10.
Well, we can hope. We can hope.
We can hope.
She's still in my top 1, and we're near the end of the season. Unless you just did a huge fucking spoiler for the ending.
The ending turns out Rainbow Dash is actually like the main villain of the show. She's purposely been sabotaging everyone.
I was only pretending to be an idiot.
I was only pretending to be an idiot, yeah.
Yeah. You see, through all these 9 seasons, I've been very loyal to the real opponent.
The real opponent. Oh man. Alright,
An
back to
element of
Littlepip.
loyalty.
Back to Littlepip. Littlepip's not the element of loyalty. That was
She's an
Calamity.
element of sacrifice.
Littlepip, well, I mean, technically I think that's right from what I remember.
Yeah.
It was something dumb like that. It feels like a cop out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
I really like how it was the element of sacrifice, though. Like, she has sacrificed a lot, and she...
It's so dumb though.
had
It's such a
sacrificed herself.
dumb
I prefer the corrupt kindness bullshit.
it's
yeah,
so
corrupted
dumb.
kindness was better.
Yeah. Corrupted kindness sounds better than like fucking I am the element of sacrifice, because like that's just a dumb fucking element.
That's
It's not an element, it's just like, oh, I sacrifice my good being to do bad things so you don't have to. Like that's not an element.
that could literally just be corrupted generosity.
That could literally be anything. Like
It could- yeah, it
anytime
could
you
have
do
done-
anything for someone, it's self-sacrifice. I did
Like-
things.
It's literally what happens with Verity at the end of her arc. Like, she sacrificed herself with the
Yeah.
fucking pink cloud bullshit.
Which is kind of dumb because like it was just a tiny hole. They could have put like literally anything there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if they did let
It's a
it in,
hole. I
everyone
have
would have died.
magic. I have magic. Maybe I could do something. Nah,
You gotta think fast.
it's a tiny hole.
Yeah.
Get a
Also,
cork
in
or
their
something.
defense, they didn't know what it was. So, like,
The fact
Right.
that she like stopped it, like, good on you, good job. If it felt a little cheap for a death, I felt a little cheated.
I didn't think so. I
mean-
thought it was honorable.
Well, it's like I don't know. Like imagine like somebody sets up a trap for someone, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna save you by like triggering the trap, except for the trap is like a banana peel on the ground, and someone like slips and they hit their head. Like, thank you for removing the trap, but also like, I feel like there's a better way to have handled the situation.
It was only just a banana peel.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. It was like it's a really cheap way to die, but like also thank you, but also you
It's
died in a
bittersweet.
pretty
It's
lame
bittersweet.
way.
It's bittersweet.
It's a pretty lame
mean-
death, is what I'm getting at.
she,
Yeah, but
especially
she's dead,
since she's
though.
like, she immediately just teleports fucking Fluttershy out. So, like, why couldn't she just do that? with
Yeah, why
herself
couldn't you
as well?
just do that?
Well, she's shit
I
with
don't know.
she's shit with teleportation, isn't she? She wasn't that great at it.
Fucking,
I
you
mean,
think
she
you'd be better at it.
successfully teleported fucking Fluttershy to the Everfree Forest.
In the middle of a war zone, you think that she might have improved her teleportation.
Alright, well, shut the fuck up.
But yeah, whatever, it was a cheap death, I feel.
Details.
Don't insult my rarity horse.
Cheap, it was cheap.
It was
I'm
cheap,
saying
but
that the way that she died was cheap. I'm like, that's not insulting the horse, that's insulting the way that they wrote her out.
I guess.
Made the hole bigger or something, so like she has to like, I don't know,
Just
lean against
like,
it.
die.
shove her body through it, just throws herself
Maybe if
in
they
the
were
hole.
just walking down the avenue and then the gas just appeared and
Or
she
maybe,
teleported
like,
Fluttershy away
Yeah, maybe she just teleported Fluttershy away
as
quickly,
she was sticking to the pavement.
Yeah, like that would have been cooler, I think.
It might have been just like trying to get the memory orb thing in. So, like, she had to survive doing the sacrifice.
Fair enough. Still, it's very silly getting like your hoof stuck to a fucking window. It was silly shit, alright. Littlepip. Fucking corrupted generosity, no.
corrupted
Instead,
kindness.
instead
yeah.
she does Fate? What does she fucking do? Element of self-sacrifice. Is that really what they fucking wrote it as?
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, she did do a sacrifice at the end, put herself in the
But no,
whole
it's-
coma and
it's
everything.
so cheap.
It's not the element of sacrifice; it's her virtue. Her
It's
virtue
her
is
virtue.
sacrifice.
It's self-sacrifice.
But
It's just
I mean, it's just an element, just named differently.
it's not even an element. It's just a bad. I didn't like that. I remember reading about it. It's like, oh, she's sacrificed, and it's like, you could have made it more interesting than that. Like, maybe she could be like the element of fucking.
Well, I mean, it's never confirmed she's sacrificed. She
She
just
sacrificed a
assumes she's
lot during the whole
sacrificed.
thing, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems bad. Like her whole character is just do thing that hurt me so that other people hurt less.
It's implied, but I wouldn't say.
She's just
like,
really
it's
into like.
confirmed.
She's just like really kinky. It turns out.
It's like a really cringy person you meet online, where it's like, I do all these things so you don't have to experience. It's like NG being a mod. It's just like, I do all these things for you so that
I look
you
at
guys
this-
are happy. I sacrifice myself every day.
I know all the season 8 spoilers, so you don't have to.
We know all the spoilers so that you don't have to look at them.
That's the. It's honestly
It's
my
like
least
that.
favorite part of the job.
Spoilers.
Is it even a job? you
Is
don't
it
get
even a
paid.
job? Yeah, you don't get paid. It's
My
volunteer
least
work.
favorite part of the volunteering position.
So yeah, sacrifice kind of cheap, but whatever. Like, it works.
What did people think of the ending? What did people think of how Littlepip ended up?
I don't like
I
sad
really,
endings.
really liked the part where it was all a memory orb from the start. That took me completely by surprise.
It was all a dream the whole time. That was the best ending.
It's actually just like Blackjack experiencing the entire manual.
It was blackjack, except like it ends and it's just like phases backwards, and it's like, oh my god, so that's what happened. And that was
Well,
the whole thing.
That's the thing. Like you didn't realize it. Like you thought it was just a story, and then it hits you like, oh my god, this is all being her memory orb.
This is all her. Didn't she? It wasn't a memory orb, was it? Or did she make? it?
Oh right, you're talking about like how it was all the all her book.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
book or whatever. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not a memory orb, was
I
it? It
thought
was a
you were
book.
joking.
No, it was on a memory.
No, I
orb,
thought
and
he
made a
was
book out
joking
of
for a
it.
while
I thought I was
too.
joking.
But then, yeah, technically he's not wrong because the epilogue is like it's all
Yeah.
written from her. Like she writes a book about it,
Well,
and
there's
then
that,
everyone
but
everyone reads it. And it's the best book and ever. And then
It's the
everyone-
sequel to the
Before-
Wasteland Survival Guide.
Before she
Yeah.
goes into the SPP, she literally makes a memory orb of this story. She pulls out a blank memory orb and records this final story so everybody can hear her tale. And then 10 years later, it's in the book that they've read because they've
Oh,
looked
okay,
at the orb.
there you go.
I love
Also,
it
What
when
I'm trying
when,
to get at,
What about the SCPs?
I said SPP.
Oh,
Single Pony
okay.
Project.
That was the
But
joke, though. The joke.
What I'm
was
trying to
covered.
get at is like it completely takes you by surprise if you didn't realize it by that point in the story.
I'm gonna be honest. Like that's not. Like, it doesn't change anything to me. Like
no,
just
it
because
doesn't
that
change
happened,
it.
it doesn't change anything really. It's like yeah, it's just it's a thing
It's
that
just
happened.
a really cool throwback to the start.
Yeah, it's not like a mind blowing like reveal. It's not like oh my god, like this was actually a memory because literally the whole
It
thing
was
is a
mind
memory.
blowing
Anyways,
for me.
the whole thing would have been a memory either way. So it's like, I guess it wasn't really mind blowing. It's just kind of like oh, that's kind of neat.
I love it when books end on the same words they start on. That's always like,
It's
whoa,
that's lame. War never changes.
whoa.
Never change.
Maybe
never
that's another
changes.
reference, just like ending and starting on the same, like.
I mean,
Yeah.
it explicitly.
I did
But,
like
yeah, it's neat.
her entire conversation with Celestia at the end. I thought that was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
At the end,
That was a really good part of the book. One thing
Must-
I didn't get,
sacrifice self.
well, one thing I thought was a bit stupid, was the only reason Spike's Dragonfire sent Littlepip inside because
It
sent a
teleports
letter to
Celestia.
Celestia. That's fucking
Yes.
stupid.
It teleports to Celestia. That's how it works.
And so what happened with
kinda
the
like this.
Enclave soldiers that he fucking like burnt alive?
They
Different
weren't
types of
worthy.
fire.
They weren't worthy.
They weren't worthy, but when Spike
like-
hiccups
it's like-
letters, that's worthy.
It's like Thor's hammer. Like,
Well,
you
no,
can
no, no,
only
no.
use
I
it if
think
you're
this is
worthy.
explained. It's so cold in the room that they freeze, I think.
I don't
Because the
fucking know.
guy, remember when they went to Spike's cave and there was somebody in the enclave who came along and he like burst fire into the suit, and Little Pip comes across a frozen body or something, or ashes, I'm not sure, and that was the same person. So I think everybody goes there. That's why there's so many bones, because whoever he's killed is just frozen, decayed, and whatnot.
Like he
Yeah.
keeps trying to eat things and then he just hiccups while he tries to eat, and there goes his lunch.
Celestia must be so pissed, just like, oh fucking hell, not another guy to starve and die. Do I have to
That
watch
is
this?
actually. Did they explain it in the book? But like, I'm curious if like Celestia is in charge of everything. Why wasn't she controlling shit?
That mainframe couldn't access anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So like, she was just a
it's-
mainframe.
It's said that Rainbow Dash cut off the mainframe and the Single Pony project, so she couldn't. She thought she was going to do it, but she couldn't.
Oh, so can everybody take a moment to thank Rainbow Dash for fucking things up? Everyone take a moment of silence for Rainbow Dash being fucking bad, even in fan
There's-
fiction.
Probably a reason why she did it.
Probably because she thought she was doing something good, but then she didn't, like usual.
Why
Yeah.
couldn't she do it? Like, there was... Like, what stopped her?
What do you mean?
Celestia just couldn't. She couldn't access.
No, what
shit
stopped
with her, like,
Rainbow Dash
mainframe shit.
joining with the Single Pony project?
She's bad.
Yeah. I don't think she
No,
wanted
I think you needed an No, you didn't need an Alcorn. I don't know.
Unicorn,
It's not
maybe?
explained
No.
really well.
No,
It's
there
not
was a
explained well at
reason, I
all.
just can't remember.
Rainbow Dash didn't like it probably because she doesn't like good things.
It wasn't rainbow enough for her.
It didn't involve her, and that's why she didn't like it.
I'll look into it and then I'll send you guys. I'll message you guys after.
Message us
Saying why.
afterwards and tell us why Rainbow Dash fucked
Just in
things up.
48 hours time.
Tell us why Rainbow Dash is bad, please, Krafty. We need to know.
I don't know.
We need
Honestly,
your
it's not
help.
explained that well in the book. That's why I need to go search this up.
Well, it's clearly not important enough for any of the four of us to remember.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't that
True.
important.
Just Bluefast did bad, and we just went, yep, of course, carry on reading.
Yep, impact.
All I know is that she just did it.
It just made sense, really. I read it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Rainbow
She
Dash
did
doing something
talk
dumb.
a lot with Apple Bloom though, so unless Apple Bloom had something to do with it, then
Maybe. No clue.
All right.
like I know that she developed the SPP with Apple Bloom, like by her side.
But then
keep
she
hearing
wasn't
SCP
involved.
as
Decide
well.
everything.
Yeah, see, every time I hear SPP, I think of SCP, and I'm like, what?
Oh, whoops, Little Pip got shoved into a room with 173, good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, so
That's
anything
all I
else?
got to talk about for
Yeah.
fucking Little Pip. Little Pip did some things. She's a very good main character and represents a person that is playing a Fallout game very well.
I think we can all agree that Fallout Equestria is definitely a very well-written book. Like, it does what it does very
Yes.
well.
It
On a
copies
scale of,
Fallout very
like-
well.
A scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being an like exact replica of Fallout, it sits at a solid 9.
Yeah,
The reason I
can
liked
agree
it
with
is
that, I
because
can
it's
agree with that.
literally Fallout.
It's
but
pretty
with-
much
I'd
Fallout,
say-
but with ponies.
From the time it was written, it's really great compared to the shit we have today.
Yeah,
Wow.
compared to some of the stuff that comes out today. That being
Well, I
said,
mean-
bad fan fiction always comes out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've
I mean,
read
all
a-
you
I
need
read
to
a
do
lot
is
of
go on
the,
fan fiction.
I love reading bad
Krafty's one
fan
of the
fiction.
the fandom doomsayers.
What? No, I'm not. I'm just saying there's a
Fan-
load of shit fan fiction. Most of it.
He remembers
Dash.
season 2 was his favorite. Anything after that just doesn't count. He
Season
wasn't even
3 isn't
around during
canon.
it.
Changed my mind.
Yeah.
Literally, he's caught up afterwards, and he still thinks that season 1's the best.
I'm pretty sure I told you guys season 4 is my favorite season.
It's a new breed of Krafty. This is a new fan, one that we thought not possible.
Well done, Craft. We're proud of you for
A
breaking the
season 1er
barriers.
that wasn't even around during season 1.
Or season 2, or season 3, or 4, or 5, or 6. Or
Halfway
7.
through 7.
Oh,
Or
halfway.
7.
I was
Yeah,
halfway
yeah.
through 7.
Alright, let's talk about the ending to the story for now, and then we'll have to finish the rest at a later date.
Yes, so you got the epilogue, which is from Fluttershy's monologue, I believe.
Yes.
And she's like talking from inside the town and talking to the nursery, sort of coping with their PTSD.
Oh, we might talk about Fluttershy and how she's not dead. She became a tree after Rarity saved her.
Will we explain? I can
Blue
word good.
joke got her, and she
Yeah,
was afraid of something to do with
yeah.
trees.
The Killing Joke made her a tree because she's
she
like,
said, I would
I
like to
want
be
to
a
be.
tree.
I want to be a tree, and
Don't you
boom, now
love
she's
that
a fucking
reference?
tree. It was a reference to the show.
It had some good punny references in there. I gotta say that.
And yeah, she became a tree, and then like somehow she got saved. I don't fucking remember how.
They
I think Xenith.
they got a cure for Blue Joke. Poison
They
Joke.
found a
Yeah.
cure for Killing Joke, and then they make
Yeah.
her not a tree.
Yeah, Xenith was MVP.
MVP,
Or is that NVZ?
most valuable zebra.
I did like the epilogue though. It was very sweet. It was a surprisingly happy ending to the
It
story.
was a happy ending. It was
Yeah.
a bittersweet ending though, because it was still kind of sad, and sad endings are always sad.
Yeah.
And like
The
terrible
fact
things don't
that
happen.
Derpy's with Lionheart now as well. That was nice.
Oh, that was funny. I completely forgot about that. That was
Yeah.
funny. I
I
like
didn't
that.
even know that was a thing. Boom.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
Mine's
Lionheart
fun.
or Mouse, but
They do
I
things.
mean, was
They
they
did
really
things.
in the story for that?
yeah,
long?
they were in the story for like a chapter and a half. I really liked the bit in Spike's cave where he just picked up the mouse spawn. Just like, Mom. It was a funny mental image.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks from Project Horizons now. I'm remembering a lot of characters from that, and there's a lot of
Can we
weird
read
ones. Oof.
I'm scared to read this, and I'm not sure I
You
ever
should read
will.
it. You should read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
but it's definitely
long.
not something you'd ever be able to do a podcast on.
Yeah, we can't do a podcast on it. We should read it, but also we're not talking about it. Not during a podcast. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
Okay. Well,
Like-
what did other people think of the epilogue?
I really
liked
liked
it.
it.
It was
Chip
a
first,
nice
Chip first.
short summary.
It
Sure.
was as Spone said, it was a short summary. Some of the things weren't very well explained, like Pip, for example, as we've said.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck knows what was going on with that? But other than that, it's nice. Like, they explained the ghouls not having the radiation they needed, so they had to push it with that. And they pointed I think Raiders was still a problem at this point. I don't remember. I blame fucking Project Horizons.
Yeah, Project Horizons kind of skews everything if you've read both of them.
I think they weren't a problem. They were still here and there, but they weren't too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so it didn't paint like the get going off. The fucking. I've got most of the podcast without saying the wrong name. The Gardens of Equestria going off. That's a completely nice thing.
The Geck.
I felt completely cock-blocked that we didn't find out who the other two elements were.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh,
Read Project Horizons.
Shut the fuck up. It was just...
Wait, which two were missing? Because he had
Generosity
loyalty,
and
Yeah.
he had loyalty, kindness, fucking.
Oh my god,
Laughter.
Spoon, you don't even know the 6 elements? Shake
No,
my
I'm trying
head.
to. No, I'm trying to remember which ones like they did have.
Oh, they
One
only
of the
didn't
guys-
have...
laughter.
Loyalty, honesty, and
Did they have
Uh,
honesty?
yeah, they had honesty. Homage
Which one
is
was
honesty.
honesty?
Homage.
Homage.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was honest with the wasteland or something. I don't know.
That's such
And then you had
whatever.
laughter.
All right.
Telling you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts.
Fucking. I suppose so. Even though she like was feeding people lies because she thought it was the truth at times, but whatever. Not really the truth if you don't know what the truth is, but I guess we can allow it. But yeah, no. If you want to know the other two, just read Project Horizons. There you go.
Just shut the fuck up.
That's
Okay,
all I'm saying.
one question I want to ask. When is Project Horizon set in reference to the main FOE
Same
storyline?
time.
Around the same time, but like also a little before and a little after as well.
Okay, so the
It takes
Gardens of
place
Equestria hasn't been
during the
activated.
events, but also like before the events and after the events. Like,
It's over a much longer time span, basically.
yeah. Imagine like it happens, and in the time that Project Horizons happens, the original one is also happening.
And
So
there's occasionally the radio goes off and says, "Oh, our toaster repair pony has done so and so or something."
Yeah, it'll make references to the fucking other fic and be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, so
and it lets
she's
you
not,
kind
like,
of tell
directly
what the same
there.
time. Yeah, it'll let you know what the same time period is, but like they go to different locations and shit.
Like they never meet.
Yeah, they
as
never
far as I
meet.
recall.
No, they meet once.
Yeah.
I think
I don't remember them if they do.
they definitely meet at the very end. I remember that.
all right.
So, but yeah,
This
you know,
is
stuff
another
happens.
thing I read roughly when it came out, so a few years.
Yeah, no, I read fucking Fallout Equestria like over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Ending epilogue was good. It summed things up pretty nice. It was a sad ending, but like bittersweet. They kind of fucked over ghouls and kind of like explained ghoul shit a little dumb, but whatever.
I had
Yeah.
like I didn't really find it bittersweet. Like it was a little sad, but I didn't really care about Littlepip. Like not too much. I was
You didn't
like
care about Littlepip, like having
the
to
fact
sacrifice
Steelhooves
himself.
died. I was kind of just pissed off and off enough anyway. So I already took my hit, and I was just like, oh shit! Like Fluttershy's back. I really enjoyed Fluttershy being back. I liked her helping the town like become a proper like place to live.
Yeah.
I liked all the characters sort of being around the place. I like what happened with Xenith in the end, and like her and her daughter stayed alive, and they helped like their tribe grow.
Calamity in Velvet was still alive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
I like
together.
how also Fluttershy is recovering as well with the little statuettes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she had the
That was a
statuettes to
really
help
sweet
recover.
thing.
Yeah, that was actually kind of sweet. That made
And
me
then
happy.
you read Project Horizons and realize that maybe there's more,
And then
but
you
yeah.
want to die.
I
There's
don't want to
always
read
more.
Project Horizons. I feel like it's just going to be like, hey, you know these happy points? They weren't happy points.
For
Well, no.
comparison,
It doesn't
com-
ruin.
also, in comparison, fucking Fallout Equestria would probably get an everyone rating on Film Fiction compared to it. Like,
Yeah,
it's a lot more
there's.
fucked up.
I feel like
Yeah,
this
fair.
is like, oh my god, I really loved like this kid's show when I was younger, and then you go back to it and you're just like, oh right, this guy was like a convicted paedophile.
Yeah, basically.
Like, I feel like
Like,
finding out that he was a convicted paedophile is reading Project Horizons.
it doesn't ruin anything of the original fic. Like you can
Yeah.
read it separately. They're both pretty separate from each other.
It isn't just like, oh yeah, so the get got activated and everything got better, but yeah, it didn't. Like, turns out that there was another nuke, everyone died, and back to the wasteland.
No.
GG's.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do shit like that.
All right.
But for now, I think we've covered the first half.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was everything that we really want to talk about. So what we haven't
time
talked
being.
about that we were going to plan to talk about next week was the villains, because we haven't talked about Red Eye, the Enclave, or the Goddess in much detail at all. And we're particularly going to be focusing on pre-war Equestria. So we're going to be talking about the main six, their roles in the story, the ministries. We're also going to be talking about the princesses, maybe focusing a little bit on Spike, and talking about the events that led up to like everything blowing up.
Everything blowing up.
It's one of my
Project
favorite parts of the
Horizons.
story. Like all the
Background.
background and like history
All
segments.
the
I guess
lore.
all the lore. I really love that in the story. I think it was really well done.
I'd agree with that.
It left me wanting to read more every time. Like every time we found out
Go
a
and
little bit
read
about
Project
this, I was like, oh shit, yeah, let's like fucking go. It was definitely my favorite parts of the book. So I look forward to talking about that at the very least. We're gonna have the same guests on, just talking about it.
Does that mean we're gonna have one do the summary this time and one do the summary next time?
That sounds like a great idea. Who do you want to pick this time, Spain?
We should. I think Chip did it last time.
Did I?
So you want to do it with Krafty?
I think Krafty can summarize this.
All right, Krafty, summarize this podcast in a sentence or less.
Shit, I ain't got nothing. Hold on, let me
All right,
think.
Chip.
All right, thank
Chip,
you. That
looks
was
like you're getting it.
Okay, my summary is go read Project Horizons.
What? I need you to
Go
not
on,
laugh and
go on,
also
go on.
speak English.
Yeah, I do. No,
he said his summary is go read Project Horizons.
No, well, that's not. It's not a good summary at all.
Spone, you want to have a hand at a summary?
I think I got something for a summary now.
Krafty, go.
Alright, Fallout Equestria is a great book, and you should definitely read it if you've got the time to, and yeah, that's about it.
That's an awful
It will
summary.
hook you,
Not-
and
not
it will
a-
get
not-
you in
not-
the good parts,
not a
and make
good
you sad in the
summary
sad
at all.
parts.
If you like Fallout, you should read this book. If you like horses as well,
Maybe if you
There
don't
you
like
go.
horses.
and if you don't like horses, then what are you? Why are you here? There you go.
Right. Ready to call it here?
Yep.
Alright, well, thanks for listening, guys, and hope to see you next week.